I'd be jamming out. Yeah. I like the soundtrack. It's very comfy. Hi, everybody. You're not Bucky's. Why do I call you that? I know why I call you that. A Timpy. A Timpy. A Timpy. It's addictive. It's a very addictive phrase. Every bubby, every buggy. Bah, 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 bah. Hello. Hello, peoples. Watching Timpy? Not right now. But I do like watching her. Ugh. D&D is cancelled this week. I can't play this week. I might have to, I need to work on my, my schemings to make up for it, because I miss it. I miss my games. I do. I miss them dearly. The aching in my soul from the lack of games. It hurts me dearly. Hello, everybody. Hello, Slacko. Hello, Harriet. Hello, Jackie. Hope we're all doing well today. I love the soundtrack for this game. It's so comfy. Enjoy drowning, I guess? Yeah, I will. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we're back to Mermaid Yuri. So we're playing to. There's like 3 routes, right? There's the thank you for the hydrate. For the we're doing the mermaid route, then we're gonna do the human route, and then once we complete both those routes, we can get the poly route. Yes, this is a game with poly. But we have to complete the individual routes first. That's required. Which is fair, honestly. I like it when it's done that way. It's fair. It's like a reward. It's like a reward. Oh no. What? Oh, am I disturbing your nap time? I'm disturbing her nap time. Oh no. Hello, baby. Am I too excited? Am I too much energy? Am I not peaceful enough? She's telling me off. She's telling me off. She's sat up and she's telling me. Oh, the baby, the poor sleepy baby. Hina, it's sunny out. It's gonna get colder, so you should take advantage of the sun when we've got it. You should. No, she says, I want to sleep on dressing gown. Why you do this to me? Why you do this to me? A poor baby. She's angry. She is. She's sulking. She's not happy. She's thinking about the crime I've done to her. Too bad. Yeah, too bad. Too bad. Yeah. 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 Gonna talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. Could give him a treat to make up for it. That's true. Treat has been redeemed. We could give her a treat right now. I'll be right back. I'll do that for her. Usually I save it for after stream, but she is grumpy. I'll be right back. Oh, good boy. I should close the door just in case. god. So I gave her a churu to really make up for it. I gave her a whole churu. Instead of just some greenies, you know. She didn't even finish it. She was so excited about it and then she didn't even finish it. It was chicken. She loves chicken. Well, she likes pork more. Maybe that was the problem. She likes her pig and her cow. She's not really a bird eater. She's not a big fish fan either, although fish sometimes. It depends. It depends on the presentation and the texturing and the flavour. She likes her rich flavours, and fish isn't always very rich in the flavours, you know. But she didn't even finish it, so I put it by her bowls in a bowl of its own. Because she won't eat the churu out of my hand when I hold it and squeeze it, like most cats are supposed to do, like how they show it in the commercials. She doesn't do that. She won't eat out of hands. That's not something she'll do. I think there's something going on there with her brain. She thinks we're going to take the food away or something. I don't know. So we have to put it in a bowl. Or put it on the floor or something. And we're not putting churu on the floor. Ew. Can get away with it with greenies, but not churu. Anyway, she got her treat. And she ate like half of it. Maybe not even half. I can't tell. And now she's gone outside to roll on the sun. On the sunny concrete. So, you know, she's doing better. But wow. She didn't want me to watch her finish it, so I could, like, take the bowl away. So I went to tell my brother to, like, hey, I'm going back to stream. Because Hino won't let me just hang out and watch her finish her food. Because the bowl can't be left on the ground, because that's gross. An empty bowl, it takes up space, it's gross. So can you, like, get it later? And then we heard the cat door of her going outside, and I was like, well, I guess she's finished with it, so never mind. And then there was, like, I don't know, maybe not even half left. There was, like, more than half, I think. They're big tubes, actually. She's just a little lady. I shouldn't really expect her to finish a whole tube. That's ridiculous, actually. Your cats love them frozen. She would never. She can't put up with that. We've tried to, like, help her with, like, cold stuff in the past, and she just hates it. She hates cold things. She's a summer girl to an unhealthy degree. Oh, you've got your kanji now? Yes. Perfect timing, honestly, because we're going to get into the game now. We were romancing the mermaid, as I said, of course. And then we're going to romance the human. And then we're going to do the poly route. Yes! Very exciting. Love the conversation on your glass and we'll beg for it. Oh, that's cute. Hina will, like... She won't drink condensation, but she will drink water out of your glass if she thinks she can sneak a bit. She will just sneak over and, like, go blip, 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 blip in your glass and just, like, absolutely ruin the and then you'll have to get a new glass of water for yourself because she's just drunk out of your glass and it's ruined now. And she won't even finish it. Like, girl, you cleaned the glass. Finish the water. She's very cute. But now she's woken up and she's gone outside, and last I saw she was rolling around, doing her amazing rolling around on concrete in the sun. So she's having a good time. No need to worry there. Is that you, Asuka? Have you come back? Oh, that's right. But don't call out to me like that next time, okay? For all you know, I could have been my aunt. You need to be quiet, especially when I'm at school. I'm not going to be back for a few hours, but I did bring you something to eat. Hopefully it should tide you over. Oh, you did? Yeah, it's not that much, but I hope you like kippers. I pad on over to the bathtub, then set my tray of leftovers down. The bowl of miso soup shifts slightly, but no droplets of the brownish soup spill over the edges of the bowl. Phew, good job, me. I managed to bring this tray all the way over without any incident. I guess I'm not as clumsy as I thought. While I'm busy congratulating myself, Noreen peers at the tray curiously. She tilts her head, then says, "Oh, this looks yummy. Is this fish?" Yeah, is it alright? I don't know if mermaids are alright with eating fish. Like, maybe they're your friends? I did see that one cartoon with the mermaid princess who was all buddy-buddy with a flounder, but... Oh, no, it's fine. Merfolk can't communicate with fish, so we mostly eat them. Or at least that's what the richest mer people do. Fish cost a lot of shells, so my parents and I couldn't eat it very often. We usually had to make do with kelp. Kelp? I like seaweed just as much as the next scale, but eating kelp for every single meal sounds kind of nasty. Doesn't that get boring? It got incredibly boring. Kelp is nutritious and it gave me energy. But having it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner was a little depressing. Merfolk seem to be marine omnivores, and that's notes. Yeah, I but that makes total sense from my worldview too. I think merfolk would be marine omnivores, and this gives me a perfect opening to talk about my view on fairies. I don't think that fairies would give a shit about eating, like, humans or anything. I don't think fairies give a shit. They're also omnivores to a severe degree. I think, like the fae and stuff, they don't give a shit about, like, if it's a sentient creature or whatever. They're like, yeah, I mean, it's food though. I mean, if someone ate my cousin, whatever, my fairy cousin, I'd be sad, but that's the way of it. That's life. Should have done better not to be eaten, maybe. That sort of thing, you know? Current in Irish mythology, the fae are basically fallen gods. Doesn't it depend on which fae? Like, the Irish have quite a mixed bag of fae. Like, not all of them are fallen gods. Some of them, I'm pretty sure, aren't. I'm a big fan of Jenny Greenteeth, though. I saw her in a book one time, and I was like, oh, that's the perfect woman. That's an incredible beast right there. She's in a game I played, whatchamacallit? The one with the children that I played. With the spiriting away the children. What was it called? Fucking hell. What was it called? I'm looking at my channel right now to figure it out. I think that was the first game I finished with you guys, actually. So it was a while back now. Last year, at least. Bramble, the Mountain King. That's right. She was in that game. Yeah, I thought she was really cool. I was like, wow, my girl Jenny, she's back. It's nice that human food is so varied. The fish is prepared in an interesting way I've never seen before. And what's this? It looks a bit like sand, but whiter. And the grains are bigger. You wouldn't eat sand, though, would you? No, it's not sand. It's white grain. White rice, and it's a grain. It's a staple of a lot of Japanese cooking. We eat it a lot, so I guess it's kind of like your kelp. My memory is more not one of the stuff. All fell descend from the Tuatha De Danann, the Irish gods, so all fae are fallen gods and descend of them. Oh, yes. Yeah. No, I wouldn't say I'm super knowledgeable about like, the fae or anything. I enjoy them a lot, though. Like kelp, is it? Noreen pokes the rice experimentally with her fingertip. I might have brought a pair of chopsticks for her, but she's not tried to pick them up. I mean, technically I am a kind of fae, if you think about it. And you know the secret law bits. If you have been around when I've discussed things. I don't feel like sharing my secrets today, so if you haven't been around when I've discussed things, I guess that's a sucker. I could be convinced with money, but, you know, I can always be convinced a little bit with money. Well, I guess you wouldn't know how those work either. Maybe it was silly of me, thinking she'd be able to use utensils like this right off the bat. We need to work up to it. Rome wasn't built in a day. So cheeky today. I am feeling a bit cheeky. It's the lesbians. It's the lesbians. It is, it is. Apparently it's Lesbian Visibility Week or something. So, like, my power is at full force. Ah, hi Vixen. Thank you for the lurk. It doesn't look much like kelp, though. It isn't green and it's not slimy either. It's white. I know you're at least 2+ years old in the VTubing space. I'm a relative newcomer, so I'm not knowledgeable in your lore. I'm actually only coming up on my... This is only my 2nd year this year. VTubing. Yes, yes. I'm very new to VTubing. I just dive straight in and I just do it scared, or don't do it, you'll never do it at all, you know? That's the mind, that's how I roll. That's how I roll with it. And I'm always working on something, so that I think that makes it seem like I'm kind of like out there sometimes. I think you always have the cheeky capability, the chaotic nature. Yes, yes. So my powers are my maxim. Yes, yes, lesbian power moments. You're a newcomer in the community, so I don't know any of the esoteric lore. Ah, it's okay. You'll find out one day. I have lore evolution models planned. So story evolution models planned. So you will kind of learn things during the next stage, which I think we decided I would get my next model at 1K. We're doing it based on followers. It was at 1K we decided I would. No, it was 500. Yes, if we hit 500, I'll start work on my next evolution, my next model stage, story-wise. And I think that'd be very fun. Faye probably a Smith Faye. Probably descended of Bridget and more importantly her Smith aspect. Ooh. My Faye lineage wouldn't be Irish, but storyline-wise. So it's different leanings going on. More Greek, probably. Well, rice can be sliming if you put natto on top of it. Natto? But that's a hard sell, even for a lot of Japanese people. I'm not the biggest fan of it myself either. I'm glad Aunt Shoko didn't prepare any natto, come to think of it. I don't know if you'd like it. Rice on its own is pretty inoffensive, though. It mostly just tastes... I'm not sure how to describe it. Well, it depends on how you prepare rice. I miss rice. I miss rice a lot. I developed an intolerance for rice, which does run in my family, so I can't really eat rice anymore. I miss it every day. I miss my wife Tails. I miss her a lot. Doesn't have much for flavour, but it's not bland. Aunt Shoko seasons it with a little salt. And there are scallions on top. It's light and refreshing. It should pair well with the fish, and there's also miso soup. Miso? I can see explaining all the components of this meal is going to take a while. Noreen really doesn't know anything, and the more time I spend there, the less time I'll have to get to school. I'll need to be careful or I really might be late to school. It's a bit of a walk away, even if it is downhill, and I don't want to make a bad first impression. Your dad, as you've sure has been said before, is an Irish neo-pagan. He does specifically worship Bridget and her Smith aspect, since he is a hobbyist smith himself. Oh, that's cool. I'll tell you about it later if you like. I need to head off now, though. I hope you have a good day. Enjoy the food and don't make any loud noises. Remember, nobody knows you're here. Aunt Shoko's in the dark, and I'd prefer to keep it that way. I don't like keeping secrets very much. But I get it. You've been really kind, Asuka, taking me in like this and bringing me food, and I don't want to make things difficult for you. I'll do my best to be a good guest. I won't make any loud noises, and I won't bother your aunt. I promise. Good. That's all I can ask. I'll go fetch you some of my manga if you want something else to do, and then I'll head off. Okay. Thank you, Asuka. It's no problem. Just give me a sec. I head back to my room and retrieve a few books. Mostly old girly romance manga I'm pretty fond of. I set them beside Narine's side on the tray where Aunt Shoko's breakfast is lying, then say, Okay, I'm heading off for real now. I hope you, well, I'm not sure if you'll have a good day exactly, but I hope it's not too boring. I'm sure it'll be fine. I hope you have a good day at this so-called school. Yeah, you're not the only one. I'm not too sure about it, but I guess I'll find out how it'll go soon enough. I have a few concerns about what the rest of the day might have in store for me, but I try to push my worries down. It's easier to stop preaching about school when I have a whole person, or half a person, relaxing in the bathtub to worry about. Narine's existence is much, much more pressing than the fear that my new classmates might not like me. But I'm neurotic. Or maybe I'm just a teenager, so I worry about that regardless. I can't really help myself. I head off, sliding the door to the bath shut behind me, and pad off down the hallway. My sensible brown school shoes are waiting for me by the veranda, though I can't say I'm too happy to see them. The moment I slide these on my feet, I'll be expected to head off to school. I don't want to do that, but I don't have much of a choice. I slip my black stockinged feet into my socks, then tap my shoes on the floor so they fit more snugly. Then, I step outside. It's a warm day, and the sunlight which rushes to greet me is intense. I wince as I step out onto the veranda, holding one hand in front of my face to blot out the most intense rays of light. There's a breeze which stirs my hair, and the sky is cobalt blue. I can't see many clouds. It's pretty, though it doesn't really match my mood. I feel so morose about this whole going to school thing, it really should be raining. But I guess it's for the best that my hair isn't at immediate risk of getting wet. I'm about to head off when... Hi! It's Marina. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh... I could never forget about her. Look at that woman. What a woman! What a fucking woman, am I right? Hey, kiddo! You heading off to school now? I spot Marina. She's lounging about on the veranda, though this time she isn't drinking her way through a 6-pack of beer. Maybe to hydrate, Jackie. How no, she's attacking me with hydrates. How many is it gonna be, babe? How many? Just the 2? Okay. Do I not seem too in danger at the moment? Just reasonably thirsty, not crazy yet. Okay, I see. Just 2, yes, yes. I guess that would be pretty brazen behavior even for her, since it's broad daylight. Hello, Marina. Did you just get here? Uh-huh. I was psyching myself up before getting stuck into work. I have quite a lot of it to do today. But never mind me. I'm glad I ran into you, Asuka. I was wondering about you. You were? Of course! Today's your first day at a brand new school. I wanted to see you off. Some of your kitties say hello. Ah, hello, kitties. You must be feeling pretty nervous. Oh, a little, yeah. But I guess I need to suck it up. Spoken like a true soldier. I gotta say, I feel pretty bad for you. If I could, I'd come with you. But I have work of my own to do. And maybe it'd be uncool being accompanied to school at your age. It might be. It was a very kind offer, but I'm sure I'll be fine. You don't think you'll get lost? Omarashima is not a very big island. The chances of getting lost are pretty small, and I've been over to Misaki High before. Oh, Priscilla, guess who? Hi, Dragon. Oh, hi, Tushy. Thank you for the head pets. Yes, Yuri. You came in just in time to see Marina. She's... Oh, what a woman. What a woman, am I right, babes? Oh, what a woman. Look at that. Abs are fucking steel. You have? Woman is a type... Marina is the type of woman I strive to be. Never stop fighting. Live your dream, babe. Live it, live it. You can do it. How's it going? It's going pretty good, Dragon. We're having a good Yuri day. We're having a good time. We're just chilling. We're enjoying woman. You know how it is. Ooh, I did need to tell people. As part of a blood pact with my dear friend Honey Cough Drop, next month he will not be Hi Wicked! Hello. With my dear friend Honey Cough Drop, as part of a blood pact, in exchange for getting him to play 1,000 Times Resist, I will be playing Signalis next month. I will be starting Signalis. As part of a blood pact, we have agreed that if one of us plays, if I play Signalis, he'll play 1,000 Times Resist. And it'll be starting next month because that's when the university closes and they're no longer working. Because they're a professor. So look forward to that. I'm very excited. It'll be my first survival horror game, which is kind of crazy from what I've heard about Signalis. But yeah, look forward to it. And we're gonna have our annual Pride Month subathon as well this year. June we'll be doing our annual our Pride Month subathon. Be there. Bow bow. I've decided to do one in every Pride Month because I'm gay and I deserve it. Bow bow. You're not the greatest, but you'll be okay. Yeah, it is what it is. Just keep trucking on and you'll get there. Yes. I'm not really super planning what I'm going to be doing. The plan is that I'm going to be streaming every day that I don't feel dead in June. And that's about it. What I'll be playing is up in the air. It'll be a vibes-based stream month. Very much so. And we may be playing a lot of things I haven't played before, and it'll be really weird and fun and cool. It'll be very vibes-based. We may have a lot of streams with people just hanging out with me while I do stuff. To keep me sane. I'm looking forward to it. Pride Month Subathon is also very, very, very good to be doing regularly because of the economy. It's good for me to have something like that incentivizes people to give me money because it's good for me to have a bit of a safety month, at least, since I'm not that big yet. So I must work on things. Yes. But anyway, Yuri. Well, yeah, my aunt took me there when I first came here to meet the headmaster and sign my paperwork. I was given a bit of a tour then, so I should know my way around all right. Oh, I see. I'm glad to hear it. I must say, you look better than you did last night. Did your brace and walk help steady all your nerves? Kind of? I guess it'd be more accurate to say that discovering Noreen was so huge it wiped all my other thoughts out of my head. But Marina doesn't need to know about that. Nobody does. I should keep this to myself. That's my plan at least, but... Hey, Asuka, you didn't find anything interesting down on the beach last night, did you? Oh. Now why is Marina asking me that? I don't know what sort of answer she's wanting, but... No, I didn't see anything too exciting. Are you sure? Well... Darn. Marina's eyes are boring into me. It's almost like she can see straight through me. Does she know about my moonlit encounter with Noreen? Why else would she ask me what I've been up to if she didn't think something unusual happened? What does she know? Is Marina someone who used to be a mermaid and turned herself into a human? She does look a lot like... I mean, without the tan, she looks a lot like Noreen. You should join in streams more. Ah, I'd love that dragon. Marina didn't send me hauling Noreen back to the inn, did she? I mean, she's even called Marina. Is that a signal? Is that like a flag? That's an oceanic name. I don't know. Maybe. She was staying here pretty late. I guess it's not beyond the realm of possibility. If she had been here, however, I'm sure I would have spotted her. I don't think I'm that unobservant, but I was pretty preoccupied last night. Well, I looked down at my feet. I can't hold Marina's gaze a second longer. The pressure is unbearable. It feels like the weight of the entire ocean and all the creatures that swim around in it is bearing down upon me. No, I really didn't see anything. Ugh, I really don't like how defensive I sound. It must be obvious I'm not telling the whole truth. A cold sweat begins to bead on my forehead. My skin prickles. Is it okay if I look? Yeah, no, Lucas are fine. Lucas are great. Don't stress. Marina, meanwhile, continues to stare at me. A few moments pass, then... Well, of course the beach isn't all that exciting. I'm not sure what I was expecting. I'm sorry for asking such a strange question. Now, Marina reaches out, then rests her palm on top of my head. Playfully. She gives my hair a ruffle, then says, I hope you have a good day at school. I'm sure you'll ace your self-introduction and make a whole heap of friends. Do your best out there, Asuka. I believe in you. Ugh, why is it so frickin' hot this morning? I mutter this under my breath as I make my way towards the school. I'm not worried about getting lost, like I told Marina, but I am a little worried about what I'll do when I actually get to the school. It's probably a good thing I donated so much of my breakfast to Noreen this morning. Otherwise, my stomach would be squirming more than it is already. Speaking of Noreen, I hope she's doing all right without me. I feel a bit bad taking her and then effectively abandoning her all day. Is this how pet owners feel when they have to go to work? I feel like I'm shirking a responsibility. But Noreen's not a cat or a dog. She's a grown woman. I'm sure she'll be able to look after herself just fine. I walk down the sloping hill which leads from my aunt's place, the sun beating down on the crown of my head all the while. It's warm, but not unpleasantly so. The not-so-distant sound of the rolling sea, meanwhile, is soothing. I just wish I could enjoy it. My head is so full of thoughts. I don't think I'll be able to head to class like this. Maybe I should stop by the beach for a little while and take a breather. The beach is only a minute or so away from the base of the hill. Going there won't eat into too much of my time. Yeah, let's do that. I turn right when I reach the bottom of the hill as opposed to left and continue downwards to the ocean. The seafront soon opens up before me, a vista of golden sand which shimmers in the sunlight. There are cliffs which fringe the beach and a few islands out in the distance, but they look very small and far away. They don't hold my attention, not like the sand, the surf, and the girl, standing on the shore. I thought there'd probably be a few people scattered about on the beach at this hour given the time, but I assumed they'd be elderly dog walkers. I didn't think I'd run into anybody my age. They should all be on their way to school since it's a Monday morning. But I guess this girl had the same idea as me. She must have come here before class to take in the sights. I don't know how old this girl is, but she must be around my age. I mean, that should go without saying since she's also wearing the Misaki High uniform. Her pleated skirt is longer than mine, and it flutters around her knees. Her long, slender legs, meanwhile, are clad in a pair of dark stockings of a thick denier. I'm guessing she's a stickler for the rules because she's wearing every single element of her uniform, even the hat, which I didn't bother with. I didn't want to risk it being swept away by a gust of wind. Plus, the ribbon which adorns the hat is a little too fancy for me. It's the sort of thing that would just blow into my mouth in the middle of lunch when I'm bringing my chopsticks to my lips. I don't see the point in outfits with too many useless embellishments. But I guess whoever designed our uniforms thinks otherwise. In any case, this girl is the spitting image of poise. She might be my age, and we might go to the same school, but she exudes this aura of grace which sets her apart. Even from behind, with her face obscured, she looks like a princess. She's pristine, from head to toe, to such a degree she could be a model posing in a magazine. That, or she could be an illustration. I had no idea the girls around here would be so pretty. I stare at the girls back from a distance, even more transfixed with her than I am the ocean, when... Oh? The girl glances around. Her eyes are shaped like a deer's and fringed with a sweep of fine lashes that are even longer. Her nose, meanwhile, is snub, and her lips are elegantly pursed. I love how they've drawn her. She's so cute. I like this style of face in anime a lot. It's just so comfy. It's very moe. It's very moe, you know? You think of the art style of Haruhi a lot when you see faces like this, I think. Her dark hair frames her face perfectly, further serving to highlight how pretty she is. The girl is so ridiculously beautiful I feel distinctly unworthy around her. I glance away abashed when... My. Are you a student at Misaki High? Oh, she's cheeky. She's a cheeky girl streak, I can tell. Her question is completely innocent, but my face still flushes. Based on my reaction, you'd think she asked me what colour underwear I have on or something. Yeah, I'm a new student. Today's my first day, and, it's very nice to meet you. Ugh, why am I stammering so much? If this is important for how my self-introduction in class will go later, it doesn't exactly bode well. I'm wishing the sand would yawn open beneath my feet and swallow me whole. Hee hee. Well, you too. But the girl doesn't seem to mind. Did you only just move to Omurashima? Yes, that's right. I used to live in Tokyo, so I'm new around here. Ah, I see. I thought that might be the case. I've lived in Omurashima for all of my life, but I've never seen you around here before. This is a small island with only 2 high schools, so I thought I would have recognized you if you were a local. Might I ask your name? I like the detail that her bow is tidier too. Like, she hasn't just tied it at the front in a knot, in a basic knot, like our protagonist has. She's done like a proper bow. It's, shoot, what is my name? This girl is so pretty, I'm blanking on a very important detail here. But no, I can't stand around here staring like a slack-jawed moron. I need to try and redeem this first impression, damn it. Asuka. My name is Sakuragi Asuka. It's, very nice to meet you. Yes, you said that already. Got a horde of channel points at this point. I would spend all 9k of them upon Stella reading a childhood book of mine. I didn't know that would be like something people would want of me. I didn't realize that was something I could do for people. Wow. The girl laughs softly, but I don't think she's laughing at me. She's much too elegant for that. It is nice to make your acquaintance, Miss Sakuragi. Unless you would prefer Asuka? Asuka is fine. Very good. My name is Shirogane Misuzu. It is a pleasure to meet you. The girl takes the pleats of her skirt and then drops them into a neat curtsy. Since her skirt is longer than mine, she's able to pull this piece of politeness off without looking too try-hard. And she isn't in any danger of flashing her underwear either. I bet she's the sort who drinks tea with her pinker finger sticking out too. She seems like the sort. Did you say you had not been in Amarashima all that long, Asuka? Oh, yes. I only moved here a week ago. My, that is rather recent. You mustn't have had much time to acclimatize yourself to your new surroundings. I imagine a small island like Amarashima must be quite the culture shock if you're accustomed to living in Tokyo. Oh, a little, I guess. This place is a lot smaller than I'm used to, though it does have that theme park, I guess. Oh, yes. Moonland is one of our biggest tourist attractions. That and all of the rabbits. This place is rather out of the way, however. I hope it is not too woefully lacking in comparison to the big city. I don't think it's that bad. I've been living with my aunt and she's very nice. She's been feeding me a lot of delicious food at least, so I guess that's good. My parents were both pretty busy, so we would take out a bunch back home. Eating freshly made white rice every morning seems like a pretty cushy deal to me. I see. Misuzu smiles at me gently in a manner which looks congenial, rather than condescending. There is something to be said for eating white rice every single morning, yes. My own mother is a firm believer in the importance of a balanced breakfast. She never fails to send me off to school without first treating me to a healthy meal. Though, I find myself feeling somewhat curious. Forgive me if this is a sensitive topic, but where are your parents now? Are they very busy with their work? Yes, well, they're both university professors, and they've both been invited to lecture in Europe. They asked me if I wanted to come with them, but I didn't want to leave Japan, so I decided to stay here. I thought I could live in our old apartment and commute to school myself, but my parents didn't like the idea. They didn't want me to leave me on my own for a whole year, so they asked my Aunt Shoko if she wouldn't mind taking me in. My aunt agreed to the idea, so, here I am. Here you are indeed. And where does your aunt live? I presume her home must be near the seafront, if you thought to pause here during your commute. Oh, she doesn't live far away at all. Her place is actually over there. I gestured with my arm. Up on that cliff. It's about 5 minutes away. Then, do you mean to say that you and your aunt purchased the old Sakuraso Inn? Oh, yes, that's right. I'm impressed that Misuzu knows that, but maybe it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. Misuzu says that she'd been living in Omoshima all her life, and it is a pretty small island. That inn must have been a big deal when it was still running, since it's so sprawling. My aunt bought the inn a few months ago, and she's been busy renovating it. I think she wants to open up for business again when she's finished with the repairs, but that might take a while. It's not in the best state. The place has a load of rooms, but we're only using a few of them. And we can't come in or out through the front entrance either. It's packed full of stuff. Well, I suppose that does make sense. The place was not in the best shapes when it was sold on either, but still. There was something rather sad about that. Sad? Now it's my turn to look at Misuzu questioningly. I think Misuzu, even though she's very traditional vibes, I think she would love like a Starbucks sugary drink. She's giving sheltered girl. Sorry, I'm adjusting my chair. She's giving sheltered girl who would love just some like ridiculously modern junk food, and would love to go to like a modern fashion clothing place and just like experience all the modernities, all the exciting new trends and things. She'd be like, wow, this is so interesting. This is so cool. Oh, what flavors? You know? Her voice is wistful. It sounds like she has some memories of that inn. Did she stay there when she was younger? Hey, misuzu, I didn't say something to upset you, did I? What? Oh, no. I was just lost in thoughts, that's all. I have some fond memories associated with that inn. And some memories which are less than fond. What if she's older than she looks? What if she's like an ancient beast? What if she's an ancient beast, you know? What if she's like mermaid royalty and mermaids age differently and stuff? She's talking about it like she was there when it was at its prime. You know? I would not mind telling you about them, given you now call it home, but... Misuzu takes her phone out of her skirt pocket, then flips it open. She gives the time a cursory check, then gasps. What if she's not a mermaid but a sea witch? Ooh, that would be so good. A mermaid and a sea witch? That would be hype as fuck. Hi, Juicebox, by the way. Hey. It's nice seeing you out that side of the 1000 times resist streams. I was worried it would only... Some people only show up for specific games. And I was like, oh, you show up for Yuri as well? Hell yeah. Hey, Juicebugs. Yes. That would be so cool too if she was a sea witch, because that would be like, ugh. It would also be really good because the sea witch in Little Mermaid is like an octopus, and her hair is kind of long and could be interpreted that way, you know? And she's got the shadowy hair. It's all dark and mysterious. Like, it wouldn't be far off as like a concept with her design currently that we know of. Just a thought. That would be kind of hype. Yes, she could be an Ursula type. But like, cute. Although Ursula, when she was in her human form, was really pretty. Ursula in her like normal form was also kind of gorgeous and amazing. She was based off a drag queen, so like obviously she was gorgeous. Did I tell you guys that like The Little Mermaid and Snow White were like my first introductions to horror media, and I was terrified but enraptured. Like, I couldn't sleep, but I kept watching the movies. And it was so crazy. Like, the horror for me with Snow White was like the spooky forest going woo at her when she first is lost there, and it goes woo and all the shadow shapes and everything. That was really scary. And then Ursula was super scary too. I was so scared of her, but I loved it. I went through a period of my life where I was like so interested in horror, but I couldn't watch it because I was so scared. And I've just like recently gained new power, you know? I watched this interesting horror movie recently. Oh, I'm burping. Why am I burping? I haven't done anything. I haven't even had energy drink yet. There's no reason for me to burp. I watched 2 new movies recently. Well, they're not new. They're both older. They're not modern movies at all. I watched 28 Days Later for the first time, and that was a blast. That was so good. No one told me Christopher Eccleston was in it, and as soon as he showed up, I was like, it's my man. My boy. I love this guy. That's my best guy. I love my guy. And then no one told me Cillian Murphy was playing the main guy, and I was like, oh my god, it's Cillian Murphy. I love that little weirdo. And there's so many people in that movie who I just really, really like. It's so good. It's so good. And they put those actors through the fucking ringer. The emotional intensity that those actors were presenting was so fucking good. They were not like lazy with the emotion. We'll just say that. They were doing everything, and it's so good. Such a fucking good movie. And the terror of those soldiers were the real monsters. The zombies are monsters, absolutely, but like they're like a natural threat, you know. And I'm taking a break before I watch the next one, 28 Weeks Later, because I've heard that's really good. But the thing with me and like series is like I found that I can't binge series. I need to like do something else in between, and then I can do the next thing in the series. Otherwise, I get burnt out by the concept of it, by the conceptual like framework. I need it to be freshened up again. I need it to have a breather, you know. And then I watched Exhibit A. Now, Exhibit A is a lot less well known, of course. I find a lot of my more niche horror finds through a YouTube channel called Ryan Hollinger. He covers a lot of really interesting stuff. And I've found a lot of UK and Irish and Scottish horror through him as well, which is really cool. He's Irish himself, so he has like the cultural knowledge of both his country and some of the surrounding countries. He has a closer understanding of them, so he can find things much more easily. And it's God. Some of you might have seen my posts on Blue Sky about Exhibit A. That was a horrific movie. If you've experienced abuse, familial, especially, I would not recommend it. It would be quite triggering. I have not experienced familial abuse like that. I have experienced some almost, and then I cut people out. But basically, Exhibit A is about a father who has always been almost an issue, right? Almost a problem. And then his irresponsible behavior keeps causing issues. And so he decides that his only option to fix the problem is to do something drastic to the family. He can't apologize. He can't come clean. He can't tidy himself up. He can't really self-actualize. He has to do something to them so that everything goes away, and like nothing is a problem anymore, because nothing is happening anymore. Like nothing will ever happen again, sort of thing. Very good movie. Absolutely horrific. I got quite nauseated in one particular scene because it was so visceral, and but I enjoyed it immensely. Beautiful piece of work. Actual art. Incredible, and it's things like that are just not celebrated as much in the mainstream, which I understand it is quite a brutal movie, but even in mainstream horror, that movie is not very well known, which is unfortunate. Oh, Chat has been talking. Most of us like scary toys because we like feeling scared when there is no real danger. Being scared is fun. That's true. I also think that there's another viewpoint. Good art disturbs the comfortable and comforts the disturbed is another one that I lean on as well. And when I say disturbs, it's not just like completely upset. It means like it also means like shakes your worldview a bit, like shifts yourself mentally. It keeps you like I think that there's an importance in telling stories that aren't super comfortable, and I want more stories like that. I want stories that aren't comfortable. It feels nice. It feels more fun. It feels like there's more of a risk and interest. Horror is about imagination, really. How far will you let your brain take you? That's true. That's true, absolutely. My brain used to take me all sorts of ways. I've become a bit desensitized to some stuff because I've become aware of the tropes and the trappings of the genre. So I have to try things out that I am not aware of a bit more. I should get into slashes possibly. But I am also aware of the traps and tropes of that genre, unfortunately. So maybe not slashes. But yeah. Try doing horror, but I would probably be in the senses of the horrors of history. Try watching them, but I can appreciate what they're trying to do, even if most of them aren't for me. That's totally fair. That's totally fair, Juicebox. Frankly, there's a lot of horror that I can't do because I don't actually handle gore very well, and a lot of horror is pretty gory. I also can't do medical stuff, like at all. Not just in horror scenarios, but in other stuff. Like general shit. I think the only TV show that didn't upset me with it was House. Crazy, but true. Because it was almost presented as a bit fantastical, and it was also the medical stuff was presented as very matter of fact, very like this is day to day shit that we do. Like the scenarios were very fantastical, and then the actual medical work was very matter of fact. You think you'd be into the horrors of history style stuff? That's actually not a bad. That's a bit of an undertapped market, but there is some stuff there, not just slavery shit, which I feel like that's a bit saturated. But there's things like The Witch. That one's a pretty good historical one. Crimson Peak, absolutely, is another one. I'm just looking at a few things. The Woman in Black, that one might be a bit intense, but it is historical horror. There's options, absolutely. I feel like I heard somewhere that like 99% of the house sicknesses and treatments were real. Yeah, no, a lot of the things in house were real. It's like when some doctors just refer to the house cases as zebra cases because you're not likely to find a zebra in the chances of you finding a zebra in a hospital is like astronomically low, but the chances there. It's a weird analogy, but it is what they say. Houses made completely of zebra cases, right? So cases that could statistically be astronomically rare, but are completely real. I tried to do in construction, it probably... Oh, if you tried to make something with horror. Right. That could be fun. A little exercise, a little mental exercise to try and make a horror story. Could be worth a shot. She gives the time a cursory check, then gasps. Goodness me! It's already 8:50. Horror movie you did recently enjoy is called the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I haven't seen it, and I don't think I will because I'm not that into Mario. As well as the fact that I don't watch a lot of American movies. I'm just not that into Mario. I didn't know it was horrifying though. That's wild. I hate to cut our conversation short, but I fear we should depart to school post-haste, otherwise we shall be late. I cannot imagine that would be a good way to start your first day. No, I don't think it would. I'm dreading the thought of going to school as it is without arriving there after the first bell's rung. It's not a good movie, but as an old gamer, there was a lot of fluff for someone like me. 2 stars. Oh yeah, just some good old slop. Some good slop. I know what you mean. Some good slop. Was a bit of a No, it wasn't even so bad, so good. It was so bad, it's good. So sort of feeling, is it? It's not even like Sharknado. It's a different sort of. It's a different tier. Would we call it nostalgia core? Probably. Nostalgia cinema. Yes, yes. Music was amazing. Then the audacity to introduce new lore to Mario. I've heard it's not canon to the games, at least. Like, it's an alternate universe thing, at least. So that helps, I guess. At that point, I might as well throw all hopes of making a positive first impression out the window. Let us be on our way, then. The school is not too far from here, thankfully. So we should be able to make it on time if we hurry. I can show you the way if you would like. Oh, that's not necessary, I mean to say, since I already know the way, but I pause. There's no point waving misuzu's offer aside, not when she's trying to help. We're both going to the same place anyway, so... that sounds good to me. Let's go. Misuzu smiles, then spins about on her heels. She walks off down the beach, disturbing the sand with every footstep. I follow along behind her, watching as the ribbon, which decorates her hat, flutters in the breeze like a maypole. Misuzu's walking at a quicker clip than would be usual, but she still manages to look elegant. She really might be the most beautiful girl I've ever met. What about the mermaid? God. Cheating already. Queasy. Good morning, class. It's nice to see you all after Golden Week. I hope you all had a nice, refreshing break from your studies and you've returned ready and raring to learn. Ugh. I hear a collective groan. You and me both, kids. You and me both. Listen, I love learning about things. I hate school. I hate school so much. School was never good for me. School fucking sucked. I like learning. I hate school. I hear a collective groan from the other side of the sliding door and then a light laugh, courtesy of my homeroom teacher, one Miss Hanabishi. A loud voice cuts through the general discontented din. I don't think I'd say that I'm raring to learn, miss. And my new classmates laugh. Miss Hanabishi chuckles too, her voice warm and sweet like honey. Oh, you. I should have known you'd say something like that, Miyaki. You've always been such a caution. You should count yourself lucky, you know, that you have me as your homeroom teacher rather than Mr. Setoguchi. He doesn't like it when his students talk back to him. Ugh, you're telling me. I have Setoguchi for history, and that's more than enough for me. The guy's a total sadist. I can neither confirm nor deny that. As a member of the faculty myself, it wouldn't be becoming if I criticized my fellow teachers. Though I admit Mr. Setoguchi's methods can be rather harsh. You've got that right. The guy's a total asshole. I can't comment on that, and you should watch your tone, Miyaki. If you start insulting my colleagues, I might have to report it to them. Do you think Mr. Setoguchi would be happy about that? Mr. Setoguchi's never happy about anything. But all right, fine, I'll behave. For now, at least. I'm glad I have you as my homeroom teacher, though, Miss Hanabishi. You really are nice. Good. I'm very glad to hear it. I do strive to have a healthy rapport with my students. And speaking of, I have a new student to introduce to you today. At this announcement, a flurry of curious questions come from the other side of the door. Everybody's talking at once, so it's hard for me to catch individual words, but I hear scattered sound bites like, "What, really?" And, "I didn't hear about this." And, "There's a new transfer student?" Jeez. I've only been at Misaki High for 10 minutes and I'm already feeling nervous. Misuzu guided me to the staff room after we arrived at school, so I've already had a brief talk with Miss Hanabishi, my future homeroom teacher. Miss Hanabishi welcomed me to the school and asked me a few quick questions about my previous education. She didn't get to ask me very many questions, however, because the bell for homeroom began to ring. Miss Hanabishi had me accompany her to my new classroom and then told me to stand outside until she was ready to introduce me to everybody. I've been standing outside in the hallway, fiddling with the blue tie at the front of my shirt for what feels like a small eternity. But in reality, it's only been about 5 minutes. I've not seen any of my new classmates, but they sound kind of rowdy, especially that Miyaki guy. What will my new classmates think of me? Will they like me? I hope they don't treat me like an outsider. It's a little awkward transferring schools in the middle of the semester. I've missed a bunch of lessons already. I hope I don't need to do too much catching up. It should be alright since schools across the country follow the same curriculum. But I worry all the same. Wanted to like school, but you were a military brat, so you went to a lot of different schools. It sucked. Oh! I don't know much about the military brat sort of lifestyle. It's not really a thing over here. Basically, from what I know, the idea is that your parents work in the military and they get transferred between bases and you just kind of have to follow them and just jump into new schools all the time. Which is horrific, quite frankly. That's bad. That's actually really bad. Why do they do that? Basically, yeah, after active duty means you live on the military base. School is generally off base. They should have... That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. Why would they do it like that? That's incredibly stupid. I'm fine with school being off the base because, I mean, you don't want the military to be in control of your schooling system any more than it already is. But... What? Thing is, the housing is free. It's tough for a kid, but economically it's a no-brainer. That's fine. I understand that. But why would you have a kid when you're being jumped around a lot? Why not wait until like you're solidified in a position? Or does that just not happen? Do people get jumped around between bases all the time, regardless of how long they've been working? Is there no stability when it comes to that? Or you could just not have a kid and put them through that. I'm just saying. Be responsible. I guess it depends on the assignment, but for my dad, there was a new place every 3 years or so. Oh, that's fucked up. I'm sorry, mate, Juicebox. I'm bashing your childhood a lot here. I hate it, though. It sounds terrible. School is hard enough already. By the time you were 13, you'd lived in 5 different states. God, that's rough. I'm just sitting here bashing your fucking child. Oh, no. Oh. It's just, man, that's too much for a kid. That's not right. No kid should have to go through that. I'm sorry, mate. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the government, so no harm. Hey, nice. Yeah. It's what I do best. Other than hauling mermaids out of the ocean into my aunt's bathtub, apparently. I wonder if I can incorporate that into my self-introduction. Hello, my name is Sakuragi Asaka, and I'm from Tokyo. I like the aquariums, sunfish, and I'm friends with a mermaid. She's living in my aunt's bathtub. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. I hope we can all get along. Yeah, maybe not. Yes, I know this is very exciting news, but please, try to still down. You'll intimidate your newest classroom before she's had a chance to step through the door. Now, I would like to welcome the newest member into the fold, Miss Sakuragi Asaka. Would you like to come in, please? Alright, this is it. I can't hang back anymore, fiddling with my ribbon. My adoring public wants me. I take a deep breath, trying to steady myself. Then, I enter the classroom. I close the door behind me, my palms uncomfortably slick and sweaty, and take my place in front of the blackboard. I am uncomfortably aware of my classmates' eyes on me all the while, and I tremble. Shyly, I glance up at my new classmates, my hands linked at my front. There's a sea of faces in front of me, but I can't take any of them in. They all look blurry. Surreptitiously, I wipe my palms on the pleats of my skirt. I hope I don't look like too much of a mess. Hello, Miss Sakuragi. It's very nice to see you. Would you like to introduce yourself to your new classmate, mates? Perhaps you could tell us a thing or two about yourself. If you don't mind, of course. I do mind, as a matter of fact. But saying nothing will make me look bad. It's not like I have much of a choice. Hello, everybody. My name is Sakuragi Osaka, like Miss Hanabishi said. I used to live in Tokyo, but I moved here to stay with my aunt. My parents are both university professors, and I'll be abroad for a while, so I'll be here for the next year. Am I babbling too much? I hope not. I like photography and collecting cutesy life-themed stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Let's have some water and try that again. I like photography and collecting cutesy life-themed stuffed toys. I hope we get along. I glance about at the classroom, my damp hands clasped at my front. Ugh, why am I so sweaty? Like photography and selling seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. Bah, 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 bah. Did I do an alright job at introducing myself? Nobody's laughing at me, at least, which should be a plus. But nobody's saying much of anything else either. I glance this way and that, anxiety cooling in the pit of my stomach like a bunch of water snakes when... How lovely! Now that we've all gotten to know you a little better. Miss Sakuragi, why don't you take a seat? There's a free desk for you, just... Over there. Right next to Miss Shiragani. Would that be all right? I glance over in the direction that Miss Hanabishi is pointing. Sure enough. There's a free desk near the front of the class, but it's slap bang in the middle of the classroom. That's a bit of a bummer. I prefer to sit at a much-covered back row seat by a window so I can gaze out at the scenery when I'm supposed to be working. But there's something else, or somebody else rather, by my new desk, which might be an even more distracting sight. Yes, it's our girl. She's so cute. I love her design. So much. I really like when in anime they do hats like this, all puffy instead of flat. I like the puffy ones. I know berets are often drawn like flat, but I like them when they're puffy. It's so cute, isn't it? It's very, very appealing, her design. And I also like the hairstyle as well. It's quite good. I just noticed that her hair accessories match her eyes. The purple is the same. Very cool. The Shiragani misuzu is sitting at the desk beside it, her long hair tumbling over her shoulders. Her hands are resting demurely on her lap, and her gentle expression looks almost angelic in the morning light. She's not doing anything more remarkable than sitting, but her posture is impeccable, like she's posing for a portrait. Miss Sakuragi, are you all right? I'm fine. I'm sorry, miss. It isn't an issue. I understand if you're feeling a little unsettled at being your very first day here. Please, feel free to take your time to get acclimatized to everything. There's no need to rush. I don't know what things were like in the big city, but here we can take things at our own pace. Now, do you mind sitting next to Miss Shiragani? Oh no, not at all. If anything, I think Misuzu is the one who should be mine sitting next to me. She's so effortlessly graceful and elegant, I'm worried my clumsiness will rub off on her. Off you pop, then. That's such a fun phrase. Off you pop. Off you pop. Off you pop. What a fun phrase. I love that. Take your seat and do take your time to get yourself comfortable. It's such a sweet lady in a position of authority phrase. Like, it's such a teacher phrase, or like a librarian or a nurse that's really nice to you and is just very sweet and has the cutest outfits, the cutest scrubs. Like, she always has scrubs that have like seashells or like keys on them, and she has a pretty pen. That's the sort of person who says off you pop. Absolutely. This must all be very new to you, but we'll do our best at Misaki High to make you feel welcome. We're right. Thank you. I cross the classroom to my desk, then drop my bag on the floor. I pull my chair back with perhaps a little too much force, and the legs scrape against the floor with an unpleasant grating sound. That was pretty loud. Oh, I've been there, girl. I hope it hasn't bothered Misuzu. I glance over my new desk buddy, wondering how she feels about all of this. Hello again, Asuka. I hope Misaki High hasn't been too overwhelming so far. It is quite the coincidence, wouldn't you say, that we have found ourselves sitting next to one another. The world really does work in mysterious ways. But Misuzu doesn't seem at all bothered by my presence. She's smiling. Surely that's a good sign. Yeah, that is pretty nice. I'm glad we could be in the same class. I was worried I wouldn't know a single person here. Oh, that isn't so very surprising. It isn't? Misuzu shakes her head. There are only 2 second-year classes in this whole school. You would either be in this class with me and Miss Hanabishi, or in Mr. Setoguchi's class. Mr. Setoguchi's class is bigger than ours, though, so it stands to reason you would have been transferred here. There are more free desks to go around. Oh, I see. I guess that does make sense. I nod as I digest Misuzu's explanation, though I'm beginning to wonder. I knew that Misaki High was a small school, but I can't believe it is only 2 classes for second-year students. Ugh, this is making me want to finish Fate Morgana. Do it! Do it! It's on my list, and I'm chomping at the bit to get to Fate Morgana. What act are you in with Fate Morgana? Which story head did you get up to? I know there's a bunch of different stories. Finished 1, but not 2. I heard that some people get stuck on 2 because it's not as it doesn't feel quite as impactful as 1. Trust me, 2 is pretty good from what I've heard. It's just not the same impact as 1. It's different impact, but it's good impact if you think about it. And then 3 is a banger, so you got to get to 3. I won't lie. I have spoiled myself on the game, so I have spoiled myself a bit on the game. I couldn't stop myself from there's hedgehog on YouTube who covers a lot of like interesting visual novels. Like she's covered Umineko. No, she hasn't covered Umineko yet. She's covered Higurashi. She's covered some Steins Gate, and she's just started her coverage of Fate Morgana. So like, I can't stop myself from watching her stuff, even if I know I'm going to be spoiled. I have to watch her stuff because her level of analysis is insane. I love her so much. And she gets all her fun voice acting friends in it too, so they all voice the characters, and it's so cool, and I love it. I have a dream to do voice acting more, but I need to apply myself to things. I need to actually apply to voice acting things. It's fun doing like VN book club stuff. Yes, VN book club. That's so real. It is kind of like a book club. They're books. They're games that are books. You know? They're games that are also books. Absolutely. Some people say they're not games, but I say they are. Voice acting is fun. I tried to stream it and read and I enjoyed it, but man, I was talking for hours. Yep. Yep. This is my bread and butter, but I understand completely. It's a lot of work. Your left side falling asleep. Yep. That game is really wordy, to be honest, so I'm not surprised. They get crazy with the words. They get crazy with it. She's covered, if you're interested in Hedgehog, her first episode covers story 1, 2, and 3. They're big episodes. But if you're interested, you could just cut yourself off after episode 1 and then get back to it another time if you're really curious. Let me link you her stuff, actually, because she's really fun. Probably get out after I've finished it. Appreciate it. Oh, good. No worries. She's also covered, as I said, Higurashi and Steins Gate, if those are stories you really like. I'm a big Higurashi fan. Rukushi07, let's go, my boy. My man. Yes, yes. I can't wait for her to eventually cover Umineko. That will... Where has she covered Umineko? She's covered a lot of stuff, okay? Higurashi. Steins Gate. No, Higurashi, Steins Gate, and Fate Morgana. Yeah, no, she hasn't covered Umineko yet. I hope she does. I think she would like absolutely devour that in a really good way. But she's got to take a break from Ryukushi because Higurashi was a massive coverage. That was a huge story to cover. So many episodes in that one. I knew that Misaki High was a small school, but I can't believe it has only 2 classes for second year students. My old school in Japan had 5 classes for each school year. It'll take me a while to get used to this. But maybe this will be a change for the better. Part of me liked how many kids there were in my old school because it gave me a degree of anonymity. I could keep my head down and exist on the fringes of my year group without making any waves. I was one of those kids, actually, who was just kind of on the fringes. And I didn't like being on the fringes, but I didn't know how to get out of there. I didn't know how to get out of the fringes, you know? And I'm still kind of on the fringes if you think about it. Like, it's different fringe, but still out there on the fringes of things. One day I'll escape the fringes and I'll become in the main circles. It's hard without meeting the right people, yeah. And whenever I tried to talk to the right people, it just didn't click. Like they didn't really understand my things didn't click, you know, which made it really difficult. But now I just don't talk to anyone from high school, so it's fine. Cut ties with all those bitches. I was on the fringe socially, but during class I couldn't shut up. I blossomed into a class clown by high school. Didn't make many friends though. Oh. Yeah, I get that. It wasn't me, but I completely understand what you're saying. Yeah. I completely understand what you're saying. Had an easy time talking to teachers, was happy to get out of there. Yeah. I'm glad you're out of there. I'm glad that was a good time for you to get out of there. I never got into any fights. Nobody ever picked on me. I wasn't singled out, but nobody knew I existed either. You'd think it'd be easier for me to make friends when there were more potential friends for me to make. But it was actually pretty overwhelming. Maybe I'll fit in better at Misaki High after all. Oh? Mrs. Hanabishi takes stock of the whispered conversation I was having with Misuzu, then smiles. Did you and Miss Shirogane know one another already? We met one another on the way to school, miss. We talked a little back then, so I guess so. Very good. I'm glad you're settling in already, Miss Sakuragi. I love saying Sakuragi. That feels like a very nice name to say. Sakuragi. Very fun to say. Now, let me take the register. Alba? Here, miss. Almany? Here, miss. Miss Hanabashi reads the register and my classmates answer in turn. I try to memorize the names and the faces, but it's pretty hard. My memory's about as developed as a goldfish's. I might have only 24 classmates, but I'm doubtful I'll be able to recall all their names. Well, there is one silver lining at least. I already know Shirogane Misuzu, and I won't be forgetting her name in a hurry. We already know someone at the school! Yay! We're doing better than we could have ever thought! And we get along with this person we know. I'm so happy for her. My precious girl. She deserves the world. She's doing amazing. During my earnest hopes earlier that morning, I felt at a loss when lunchtime finally rolled around. I don't know anybody in my class besides... Is Misuzu a pun? Is it? I don't know. What pun are you seeing? Because I would love to be in on it. Miso is water! It might fucking be. We've been seeing that a bunch with names that are all like there's Marina, who's like doing the renovations at the inn, and like that's obvious. And then we've got Noreen, who's the mermaid, which sounds very watery. Noreen, hang on. Noreen meaning. Literally, it's a type of plant which is called a mermaid flower. Misaki, though. Misaki is our girl. Misaki meaning. It's a town in Osaka known for its coastal location. It goes all the way to the top, bitch. There's no end to it. I forgot the aunt's name. Shoko? Shoko. Meaning. Come on. Give me something watery. I'm not finding anything for Shoko. If you guys figure out something for Shoko, let me know, because I'm locked in now. I'm so certain all their names are related to water or mermaids or something. Has to be. That's so fucking cool. I don't know anybody in my class besides Misuzu, and I'm not sure where I'm supposed to eat or who I'm supposed to eat with. Eat with Misuzu, obviously, girl. Easy win. I think the school has a cafeteria, but going there would be pointless since Aunt Shoko packed me a lunch this morning. Besides, I can't imagine anything sadder than going all the way to the cafeteria, ordering my dinky little lunch special beads and sitting at a table on my own to eat it. Since this is my very first day at school, I want to try and make a good first impression. I can't look like a loner, but what am I going to do? I found myself fretting a whole 3 minutes after the lunch bell rings, frozen in my seat like a sculpture until Misuzu takes pity on me. Oh, she's so sweet. Oh, She's already taken her lunchbox from her bag and she was just about to dig into it when her eye catches mine. Excuse me, Asuka. I don't want to be presumptuous, but do you have any plans for lunch? No, I was just wondering what to do, actually. I'm not sure if I should eat here or in the cafeteria. Do you have a lunch with you, by chance? I do, yeah. I beamed, then pulled my own lunchbox from my bag, neatly wrapped in one of Aunt Shoko's patterned kerchiefs. This kerchief has a sunflower pattern, yellow on dark blue. It's actually kind of cute. I didn't know Aunt Shoko was stylish. My, aunt made it for me. I wasn't sure if I should eat it in here, though. But I guess that's fine. There's no rule against eating in the classroom, if that's what you're asking. A lot of people do it. Though you don't need to eat your lunch in here if you'd rather not. You could always go to the cafeteria like you suggested. Though it tends to be quite crowded at this hour. And there's always the courtyard. I know that's a popular location, though it's a bit too bright for me. I prefer to sit inside the shade. What, like a vampire? I wind up blurting the question out before I had a chance to really consider what I'm saying. Oh! No, she'll dry out in the sun. She needs to maintain her levels of hydration, I bet. The words just come out in a rush, and when they do, I blush. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I don't want to be rude. I'm afraid I might have said something insulting, but Misuzu doesn't look offended. Instead, she giggles. Maybe so. My grandfather used to say I was like a vampire. My skin is so pale, and my hair is so dark. It doesn't help that my hands are so cold, too. Do you want to feel them? Thank you for the hydrate, Jackie. And the sweat cheese. Handful of JP names have multiple meanings depending on the kanji. I learned about this when I was playing a cute rhythm game with a celestial theme, and a character was named Amane, which can mean things like sound of the rain or alternatively heavenly sound, but also sea, sky, sweet. Yeah, I know that. I know that there's like multiple meanings. That's so cool. Shoko. Shoko is the missing link. Shoko. I can't find anything about Shoko. Now, unfortunately, we must turn down the beautiful woman. Because we are dating the mermaid right now. But we will get the beautiful woman next time. Don't you worry. Beautiful woman next time. Beautiful woman next time. Oh, no, I think I'm good. I think that'd be a little too intimate for me. I find it hard enough to hold conversation with people without getting all touchy-feely into the bargain. Holding Mizuzu's elegant hands would be no good for my heart. Fortunately, Mizuzu doesn't seem perturbed by this. She giggles and says, Hee, well, all right then. Gotta see how it's written? Yes, it's all down to how it's written with Japanese names. The kanji and things. Do you still want to eat with me, though, Asuka? Well, of course. Good. Feel free to scoot your chair up next to mine, then. I obey Mizuzu meekly, and she smiles. Now, this is cozy. It's nice to eat with somebody else. Even if you didn't want to reap the benefits of my soothing touch. You know, my grandfather always used to ask me to massage his shoulders. He said my hands were soothing. And though I might not look it, I have quite a firm grip. Mizuzu flicks the non-existent muscles of her right arm, then giggles. I, meanwhile, examine her curiously. She might look like a young lady, and she speaks like one, too. But she isn't at all snobbish. I'm glad she's being so kind, but that comment about her grandfather makes me wonder. Especially since she said it in the past tense. I don't want to pry, but... It sounds like you're very close to your grandpa. Do you see him often? I did. But that isn't really possible right now. My grandfather died 6 years ago. Oh, this is about what I expected, but I still feel guilty for prying. I'm sorry for your loss. It's all right. He was rather old when he passed. He was in his 80s. He'd lived a full life, and he was able to keep working almost until the very end. I don't think he had any regrets, and he was probably happy to go, grim though it might sound. His back had been giving him a lot of grief. I'm not too concerned about him, though I do worry about my grandmother. Is she still alive? Yes, but I'm afraid she might not be for much longer. Her health has always been a bit precarious, but it took a turn for the worse after grandfather's death. She wanted to live out the rest of her days in her old home, the Sakuraso Inn, actually, where you live now. But she couldn't. She had a nasty fall the winter before last and broke her hip. She had to go to the hospital and she never quite recovered. Well, that explains why it was sold in such haste. Also, why it wasn't in great condition. She lives in a home now, though she goes back and forth to the hospital every other week. She had to leave her home and the inn was effectively closed. She was devastated. She loved it so much. That does sound rough, yeah. But wait, does that mean the inn Aunt Shoko bought is the same inn your grandparents owned? That's right. My grandparents opened it almost 50 years ago, and it was their pride and joy. They worked there tirelessly almost until the very end. I used to visit them while they were working, and I'd wander through the hallways or play out in the garden. I liked how big it was. It was like a maze. It is a bit maze-like, yeah. There really are a lot of rooms. I was worried when I first moved in that I'd get lost. You aren't the only one. I actually did get lost there one time. You did? I was doing a bit of exploration, and I somehow managed to trap myself inside an old futon cupboard. The door got stuck and I tried to scream, but nobody heard me. I was in there for almost an hour until my grandmother found me. It was terrifying. I tried to imagine being sealed away in such a small, cramped space myself. Then shudder. That does sound pretty scary. It was. I still have nightmares about it sometimes. I'm not a big fan of the dark. Misuzu laughs shyly as though she's just confided something shameful, and brushes a few strands of hair behind her ear. Some vampire I am. Aren't they all supposed to have night vision? You could be a brand new sort of vampire, I guess. One who gets afraid of being in small, cramped spaces? Misuzu giggles. That would never work. I'd never ever be able to sleep in a coffin. I think I'd have a panic attack. But my grandmother was there for me after the cupboard incident, and she made me feel better. She took good care of me, she hugged me, and then she poured me some barley tea, and she gave me some of her homemade cookies too. My grandmother's food was so delicious. Misuzu begins to muse, her eyes misty and far away. She handled most of the cooking at the inn when she could, though in her 70s and all the way up to the 90s. The place was busy enough she had to hire a whole team to help her. Hi, Rat. Welcome in. Thank you for the head pats. The customers started to dwindle as my grandparents got older, but they didn't abandon the inn. Keeping it going must have been a lot of work, but they were determined. My grandfather was still greeting guests and keeping the rooms clean the day before he died, and my grandmother tried to preserve his legacy. She kept the inn running, but it wasn't possible after her accident. I was afraid the inn would close for good, so I was quite relieved when I heard that somebody had bought it. It's nice that it didn't stand empty for too long, though it was in a bit of a state. My grandparents were old, and they didn't have very much money, so it started to deteriorate. I imagine it needs a lot of work done to it. But that's better than leaving it to fall apart, I suppose. Oh, I see. I'm sorry for bringing up such a sensitive subject. There's a brief silence, during which I worry I might really have said something to upset misuzu. If that was the case, I wouldn't be surprised. I am pretty clumsy after all. I always seem to say the wrong things at exactly the wrong time. I have a knack for it. I can't help but feel concerned, but... No, it's all right. There's no harm in asking questions. In fact, I'm glad we were able to have this conversation. You are? Yes. The rest of my classmates have always been a bit distant with me, probably because of my family's reputation. Their reputation, huh? I wonder. What a question. What a question. What a question. Do you have ties to the Yakuza? Girl. We gotta ask. We gotta fucking ask. Who just asks that? Bitch. The Yakuza? Misuzu blinks and says, "Oh, I wish. That would be rather fun." Oh, your phone died? Oh no. Gotta keep an eye on that. I obsessively charge my phone. If I see that it is below 80%, I get scared. I really don't need to, but I do. Oh, I wish. That would be rather fun. But it's nothing that exciting. My family just happens to be wealthy, and I fear it makes others uncomfortable. Uncomfortable? I pout, upset on Misuzu's behalf. How could you make anyone feel uncomfortable? You're so nice. Why, thank you. I do appreciate it. But that is what happens, I suppose, when one has money. I think my classmates regard me a little differently from the rest of our peers. Perhaps they find it difficult to interact with me naturally, knowing what my family are like. It was not so bad in kindergarten when we were all younger and less judgmental. But now... Misuzu sighs. It's not a particularly heavy sigh, but I can see into disappointment well enough. She looks dejected. Well, now I fear there is something of a divide between myself and the rest of the class. Does that mean everybody's... Oh, blub. I was stuck in Misuzu voice. Does that mean everybody's ignoring you? Oh, no. Not consciously, at least. My classmates greet me in the mornings, and we sometimes engage in idle chit-chat. But it's all superficial. I don't think anybody wants to get too close. But it's not as though I'm being bullied. I have never once felt as though my classmates disliked me. I think they are simply uncomfortable around me. Uncomfortable, huh? My gut reaction would be to say, how could anybody be uncomfortable around you? If only they talked to you, they'd realize how sweet you are. But that would probably be hypocritical of me. I feel a little uncomfortable around Misuzu too when I first saw her on the beach. I could tell even at a distance that she was a lady of good breeding. There's simply something about her impeccable posture, coupled with the neatly ironed pleats of her school uniform and how shiny her shoes are, that screams, I'm a rich, elegant young woman. When she first called to me, I felt more than a little tongue-tied. I wonder if that's how the rest of Misuzu's classmates feel. Well, maybe I can understand that just a little. I've heard I'm somewhat intimidating, yes. I've often been told that I act somewhat cold, though I do not wish to come across that way. I'm afraid I'm still rather awkward. Misuzu sighs. She looks pretty sad, actually. So much so, I feel I should tell her to cheer up. That feels like the non-root option. That might seem a little dismissive, though. I don't want to disregard Misuzu's feelings. It makes perfect sense if she's upset. I'd probably be upset too if I were in her shoes. I just wish there was something I could do for her. Well, never mind. I did not begin this diatribe so I could complain about how my classmates have been treating me. That'd be rather unfair, when they've only ever been kind. I only meant to say that instead, that I am glad that you showed an interest in my family's circumstances. It was very sweet of you. I'm right. Well, I don't really think I did anything. But if talking about it got a weight off your chest, then I guess that's a good thing. Yes, indeed. I think it is, at least. Misuzu laughs. It's an elegant laugh, one which sounds clean and polished, just like the rest of her appearance. I'm glad she's smiling at least, but I can see something beneath that smile of hers. Though she's acting cheerful, I wonder how she feels deep down. Hey, Misuzu, I was wondering, since this inn is so important to you, would you like to stop by and visit it sometime? Oh? Would that be all right? Of course. I think it'd be good, actually, if the inn had a few visitors. It is meant to be a guest house, after all. Not that you'd be a guest. In fact, you probably have more of a right to be there than I did. You've been in Omarashima longer, and you have more of a connection to the place than I do. You've been to the inn a bunch of times, too. It was like your second home, wasn't it? Yes, indeed. I did spend rather a lot of time there in my youth. Then you shouldn't even have to wait for my invitation. You should be able to come over whenever you want. Though, I don't know if my aunt would like that. I'd probably have to warn her ahead of time. Otherwise, that might be trespassing. Entering a building without the express permission of the owner is considered a crime, yes. I would rather not get arrested. I didn't want a black mark on my criminal record. I spent a lot of time there in my youth, high school student. Yeah, she's so fucking goofy. This is the sort of character to me that reads as like a comedic character. She's a comedic character. This is a jester to me, a clown, perhaps. She is so entrenched in the young, elegant lady vibes that it starts to become like funny. You know? It's I should tell you about my comedic D&D character. I want to talk about D&D. I'm going to talk about D&D now. D&D time. Rah, rah, rah. I have two characters that I could consider comedic. Oh, three now, maybe, actually. So my first comedic character is a vampire. And she's a character of, like, she's a paladin of vengeance class, right? And she's called Gilswinther, and she's so nasty, and she doesn't bathe, and she's icky, gross, icky. She had, like, a tribe with her family where they'll basically go out and pillage and destroy villages and murder and eat them, and it would be so fun. And it was her culture. And then all the pillagers, all the villagers, like, banded together and hired, like, a group of vampire hunters to kill her whole family. And she got hidden away by her dad, who was, like, the chief. She was the chief's daughter. And now she's like, I hate all mortals. They destroyed me just because I was practicing my culture. So she's like a comedic character to me. She's so nasty. She's so gross that I love her. And then I made a Gyaru who just doesn't want to be there. My Gyaru girl just doesn't want to be there. She got summoned on an adventure. And she just doesn't want to be here, okay? Her shoes are getting caked in mud. She does not have anything other than heels. She didn't sign up for this. She doesn't have any phone reception. She's on the fucking boonies. It sucks. It sucks. Everything sucks, and she hates it. And she's so mad. She's a bard with the College of Glamour, and she's like freshly started. She's just started working at a hostess club, and she's like, I'm wasting time here. I could be back home. Like, getting people giving me money for being hot. My best clients. I need to get clients. This is wasting my time. If I get a scar, I'm suing you. My nails are ruined. She's such a bitch, and I love her so much. And then I have another character who is just a concept at this time. It's an actual clown. Like clown, you know the difference that like there's clowns, the species versus clowns the job. But this is a clown the species character, right? And they would be effectively mute. Okay, but I would communicate with the party and the world around me with a soundboard, which has a series of recorded clowny noises, like a sad slide whistle is one of them that I know I will need, and things like that. And that's the only way you can communicate with my clown. So I just need a soundboard set up with all my beautiful noises. And I can start designing my clown and feel like I can do the clown. It would be so funny to be this clown. I love this clown idea so much, so dearly. So intrinsically, I adore this clown. This clown is my luck, pride, and joy, and I haven't even made it yet. Oh. You dig it? Hell yeah. Oh, you better dig it. It's fucking amazing. I love it. Soundboards have been cool forever. Soundboards are awesome, especially as like a communication device. I think they are underutilized as a communication device insofar as like actually trying to communicate, not just like reactions. I think there's like an untapped market for like role play and like silly times with that. True, true. Maybe you can't come over whenever, even though Marina always seems to be hanging around in the garden at odd hours of the day. But it should be fine if I'm around. My aunt told me she wanted me to make some friends at school. I think she'll be thrilled to meet you, especially since I was worried about making new friends. I bet she'd be happy if you came over today, even. Today? Yeah. I can save you some green tea and then we can take a look around. If you want. There's a bunch of rooms you probably can't go in because they're being renovated. But it should be alright. The inn won't be like the inn you're used to, when your grandparents still owned it, but my aunt's been trying to breathe some life back into it. And I think that's got to count for something. Well, now. Let me see. I didn't ask her to turn down a date from misuzu like a moment ago. She did kinda, and now she's like, what if we hung out at my house instead? Asuka has like that naive riz, you know, where she just says things and she doesn't know what she's saying. I would not want to be a burden, especially when you are still refurbishing the place, but if you truly do not mind and you are not merely offering out of politeness, then I'll be honoured to take you up on your offer. Thank you, Asuka. You really are very kind. Oh, wrong voice. Man, I'm fucking up. Thank you, Asuka. You really are very kind. That's the longest raspberry I've ever done. I'm very proud of myself. Yeah. Sometimes you just got a raspberry about it. It's the truth. It's the truth. It is. Sometimes I think about the fact that I made a very dark and, like, evil character as a VTuber, and I'm very so very silly. I'm not going to change my character. But, you know, it's funny to me. Have you played FS7 Remake by chance? I have not. I haven't played any of the Final Fantasies except 14, and I'm kind of burnt out on 14 right now. So I wouldn't... Is that the one with Cloud? Is that one with the blonde boy? Is that the blonde boy one? There are multiple blonde boys, I shouldn't say that. That's the Cloud one? Should I play the remake or should I play the original? I've heard the story is a bit different, but I don't know. I do like how clunky the little guys look in the original. They look so clunky. I like how blocky they are. It's nice to me. They're cute. But I heard the remake is like a different story. If you play the original first, the remake rewards you. How so? I'm curious. Does the story welcome you with open arms in a way? if you know things about the original, it's like, oh, you'll find things in the remake. Waha! There's plenty of references in the plot of the remake and some twists in it that's enhanced by knowledge of other FF7 stuff. Oh! So what you're saying is that playing the original would be worth it. Aha, I see. I am, but it's perfectly fine to play on its own first. That's fair. That's also fair. I get that. I know that some people are like put off by old school graphics, but I find whenever I see those little blocky guys in the OG FF7, I am like, wow, those are little plushies to me. That is a little Fumo. That is just a little guy. I would cuddle that little guy when I'm sleeping, and when I honk shoe, and I'm holding him very close, and it is so comforting. His spikes go right through my chin, but that's fine. He stabbed me, I'm dying, but it's fine. I think his spikes would be soft, actually. They would bend. Main thing is the general plot is the same, the details differ. Oh, I think I will play the original anyway, just because I mean, obviously I'm a big fan of the little guys, and that is kind of like selling it for me. But I probably play the remake too at some point after that, because I like pretty people. I'm a Tifa fan. From what I've seen, I think I would appreciate Tifa, but I can see the appeal of Aerith. I understand what we're going for with her. The reason I brought up is because there are some classic characters that didn't have a last name, but one of them gained the last name Raspberry in the remake. Oh, how lucky. They now have a family lineage. Congratulations to them. They have upgraded. Very good, very good. The school day eventually comes to an end, after what seems like entirely too long. I rise to my feet the moment the bell rings, and shove my textbooks and my pencil case into my bag haphazardly, not caring if I crumple any of the pages in the process. Noreen might think the opportunity to go to school is a wonderful thing, but I've been forced to attend it for far too long to feel any particular joy in going to class, day in, day out. The thing about me with video games, Juicebox, is I haven't played very many of them at all. I'm very new to video gamings in the mainstream. Mostly I've played visual novels and some stuff on like the little 3DS. That's about what I've got experience wise. I played a lot of mum games. Because my mum had an account with a mum game website, and I played a lot of those because that was like an option. But I don't have a lot of video game experience, so there's a lot of me out there for me to learn, you know. And I'm not very good at video games, but I try. Damn it, I try. The world of gaming's your oyster. Yes, exactly. I'm very excited. It's a whole new artistic world for me to explore. That's the beautiful thing. In fact, I think it's pretty tedious. Now the school day's over, I don't want to think about it for the next 18 hours. Not until I have to wake up next morning, at least, and start this miserable cycle all over again. Things could definitely be worse, though. My new classmates are pretty nice, especially Misuzu. She might be a wealthy young lady, but she's pretty approachable. She's so approachable, in fact, that I swivel in my chair to look at her, once I've stashed the last of my belongings away. I zip up my bag, almost zipping my fingers in the process, and say, "So, do you want to walk back home with me?" "It would be my pleasure. I was just informing my mother that I'll be back home a little bit later." Misuzu gestures to her phone. It looks to be a new model, and it's very sleek and shiny. How fancy. It's a soft coral pink colour too, which makes me think of Noreen's tail. Huh. Now there's a thought. What am I going to do about Noreen? She asked me to talk to her after getting back home. I promised her I'd give her a full account of my first day at school. Your first assignment is Donkey Kong Country. You must 100% the game before Friday. I'm expecting a full and annotated report by Saturday. Kidding. Oh, Donkey Kong Country. I've heard mixed opinions on that one, my dear. I fear you are setting me up for something cruel, possibly. What is the general consensus on Donkey Kong Country? Donkey Kong Country. A classic platformer. There were 3 of them on the Super Nintendo. Oh! I'm looking it up on my phone. Oh, this one. I see pictures of him. I see pictures of him on the internet before. He make many faces. I like how elastic they look whenever I see pictures of this game. They're very elastic. I like it. Maybe I should try it. I need to. I'm planning to like set up a lot of emulated games for my subathon, so I have like options if my vibes are like a mix. Like if my vibes are a bit funny, I have options to mix that to dance around with. So maybe I'll add that to the docket. Not quite Mario, not quite Sonic. That's great, because I haven't played either of those either. So I have no idea what that means. There's monkey stuff involving pickup and throwing barrels. I love throw barrel. That sounds fun. That sounds cool. I like throw barrel. That sounds cool. Lots of obstacle course type levels. Known for very good music and tight gameplay that still holds up. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think I will add that to the docket then. Let me write this down. Let me write this down. Donkey Kong Country. Yes. Haha. What if it was Donkey Kong Country? You know, like... What if he was cunty with it instead? What if it was the country of cunts? You know? I'm funny. I'm great. I'm so funny. Thanks for the headpats, Rat. Yeah, thank you for the recommendation. I will try and get an emulated version of that up in my options. Auto mod would be mad if I typed that. We've trained auto mod over here. We're okay with if you say cunt. We'll free you from prison if you say cunt, and we'll edit permissive terms if we need to. Hi, Sacred. Thank you for the hydrates and stretchies. You're allowed to say cunt here. That's my rules. I'm not. I don't have your northern sensibilities. We're Kiwis down here. Cunt is not a bad word. The good old country. Exactly. It's also funny wording. It's also like a punny, you know? Country, you know? Hi, Sacred. Good to see ya. But I can't exactly do that. Not if I'm inviting misuzu back with me. Maybe I'm being unfair to Noreen, I wonder. So as the country empress, I'm a lower level queen. That's true. And I give you very important tasks, like making sure that everyone has good clothes. And making sure that Hine only gets the best treats. And that she doesn't get too many treats so she'll get fat. Tasty food? Yes, tasty food. And if I get sad and if my autistic brain gets mad and decides the food is nasty while it's in my mouth, even though technically it's really nice and yummy, no one looks at me funny when and I can just put it in the bin and no one cares. And no one even notices I do it. They look away. We're gonna cancel our plans with Misuzu, even though I love this girl dearly. She's so cute. You take the food? Excellent. That's your official role, the food finisher. I've heard that many people are vying for this role. You may have to kill someone. It may be a role rife with assassination attempts, but that's okay. All the important ones have that issue. we are going to have to cancel our plans with Misuzu if we want to get the Nareen route. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Everyone? This hurts me just as much as it's going to hurt her. Oh, I'm not looking. Ah! Ah! Oh no. Oh, it hurts, but it's done. It's okay, Misuzu, I'm free today. Hell yeah! Jukebox swiping in, yeah! I respect it, man, I respect it. Could always tell Misuzu that something urgent's come up, that I'll have to invite her around some other time. But that would feel pretty scummy since I'm the one who invited her over in the first place. I don't want to upset her, it wouldn't be fair. Hang on, what did I click? I feel pretty bad for Nareen though. I'll have to try and make it up to her later. I hope she won't be too upset. Alright. Misuzu snaps her phone shut, then slides it into her skirt pocket. I have explained the situation to my mother. Well, I actually told her I was going to study with one of my friends, and she was all right with it, provided I come home before dinner. That should give me an hour or so to look around the inn. If that is all right. That's all fine and dandy. I'm the one who invited you, remember? Now let's go. Yes, indeed. I'm very excited. Aw, how cute. I get to my feet, as does Misuzu. We both exit the classroom, our footfalls light on the ground. As we walk, our skirts swishing. Misuzu looks at me curiously. By the way, Asuka. Yes, what is it? Do you not need to text your aunt and inform her of my visit? Well, I would if I could. But I, kind of forgot to bring my phone to school with me. But your own first day at school and you've only been living in Omurashima for a week. Aren't you worried about getting lost? Not really. I've looked around the island a bit and it's not all that big. Though I didn't mean to forget my phone, it kind of slipped my mind. I'm a bit of an airhead. I see. Well, it's fortunate that you have me to remind you about these things in the future. Will you? If you need me to, yes. My own schedule is rather busy, so I'm good at managing my time. Wow, that's kind of impressive. You actually know a girl a lot like her, it's kind of uncanny. What a cutie. You know a cutie patootie like her? That's crazy. Wow, that's impressive. Cuties are hiding a ridiculous punctuality and brain power, yeah. Ugh. Is it really? Misuzu's brow creases. I imagine that you must have quite this hectic schedule yourself since you lived in Tokyo. Kind of, I guess. I did have to wake up pretty early to catch the train to school, but I didn't need to pay much attention when I was in class. No? Nah, I mean, there were almost 2,000 students at my old school and almost 40 kids in my class. Teachers never noticed if I forgot to bring in my pencil case or my textbooks. Which happened quite a lot, actually. 2,000! Oh, she's shocked. She's amazed. How many people can be in one classroom? How? Misuzu's eyes widened, comic proportions. Goodness, that's so many. That must have been overwhelming. Not even Okubo Academy has that many students, and it's the biggest school on the whole island. It was a bit intimidating, I guess. But I got used to it. Tokyo's a big city after all. It's full of people in general. You'd expect the schools to be busy too. I suppose so. Tokyo really does sound incredible, though. It must be very different to Omotoshima. It sounds like its own world. It does feel like that, yeah. Coming here must have been a shock. Were you very surprised by how laid-back life is here? A little, yeah. I was a bit worried about fitting in, actually. But it hasn't been as bad as I thought it would be. No? I shake my head. I was afraid I'd stand out too much and I wouldn't be able to make any friends. But it's been alright. I mean, I'm glad I was able to make at least one friend today. Well, of course. Zuzu replies with a sunny smile. I consider myself very fortunate to be your friend. I think you're a lovely girl, Asuka. Lovely, am I? I don't know if anybody's called me that before. But I'll gladly take that compliment. As you should. The pair of us descend the stairs to the ground floor, then exit the school building. It's still bright, and the butter yellow sun shines on tops of our heads. The wind tugs at my hair and the hem of my skirt. When I inhale, I can smell salt. The ocean's a 10-minute walk or so away, but I guess when you live by the coast, you're never free from the lingering scent of the ocean air. It's everywhere. Misuzu and I head on over to the ocean, the soles of our school shoes slapping rhythmically against the ground. Love ocean air. Yes! It's so refreshing! It's so good. Miss it so much. Ugh. Thankfully, I live on an island, so I'm able to go to like the beach and get some of that fresh air regularly. But I wouldn't be able to live somewhere that was landlocked. It would kill me. It would kill me straight up. I would die. I'm too used to having water like nearby. It would freak me out. You're landlocked. Oh no, the terrors. The most scary thing in the world. No ocean. We chat as we walk about various subjects, mostly my life in Tokyo and my old school and how long it took me to commute. Misuzu seemed surprised that taking the train to and from school cost so much money, and that it took over half an hour each way. She only has to walk 10 minutes to school, so she can sleep in if she wants. I guess my life was a little more hectic compared to how slow and sleepy it is here in Omotoshima. It's going to take quite a bit of getting used to, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Like triple landlocked state-wise, I want to say. Oh, on all sides. Ugh. Upsetting me. Oh, the terror. The scariest thing in the world. No ocean. Never lived near a coast, so anytime I saw one, I loved every beach and all the seafood. For a brief period, I was able to live on the Oregon coast, and driving up and down it created some lovely memories. Beautiful place. Oh. Middle state of the lower 48 continental USA. I don't know shit about America, how America is laid out, so... Oh, Texas. Telling me something vague like that, coming like, there's a lot of those in America. You got states all over the place. Which one? Why would I know that? Kansas? Oh. That's where Dorothy was. Right? Yeah, that was Dorothy. That's all I know. Dorothy lived there. Dorothy lived there. That's all I know about Kansas. I'll post a map in the state. Oh? What? Arizona for you. All I have is sand and cacti. Amelia Earhart from Kansas. Oh. She got eaten by crabs. I like to think about that. She got eaten by crabs. It's not very nice of me to think about that, but it is what it is. We have a sand and cacti. I've seen some pretty cacti though, with the flowers, and you've got animals that live in cacti, and that's kind of funny. Imagine a bird in a spiky tree. That's weird and funny to me. Cacti are like alien plants. They're silly. Permission to ping. Denied. Just post in general. Approved. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if I was all that happy living in Tokyo. I felt like I was in a constant hurry, that I had to rush to get anywhere. I was doing my best, but it was all I could do to keep my head above the water. I spent so much time commuting to and from school, it felt like I was in a constant blur. My commute was always crowded, the trains packed with people. When I got home, it was empty more often than not. Both of my parents busy with work. My life in Tokyo was one of two extremes, of being surrounded by strangers on a near-constant basis while feeling sad and lonely as I drifted about at home. I think things will be a little bit more balanced now that I'm Hiroshima, though. Posted? I might look after stream. I don't want to disrupt the flow of the vibes. That is generally my policy, yes. Unless I am stupid and I forget my own policy. For one thing, I won't be returning to an empty home. Aunt Shoko will be there to greet me, and so will Noreen. I wonder how she's been getting along in my absence. Will she be all right? I hope she enjoyed the romance manga I loaned her, though I'm a little bit worried she might have gotten them wet. I gave her one of my favourite series, so it'd be a shame if she damaged it. Those thoughts fly past my mind as I walk back with misuzu, tackling the steep incline which leads to the Sakuraso Inn. The hill isn't so tough to navigate when I'm going downhill in the mornings, but coming back home is another matter. This uphill trek is pretty draining. Oh well, we should be back soon enough. We arrived at the inn about 5 minutes later. Misuzu looking none the worse for wear. She's almost perfectly pristine, like a doll still sealed inside a box, not a single strand of hair out of place. I just wish I could say the same for myself. I'm in embarrassing poor shape. Misuzu must be concerned about me because she's paying more attention to my face than she is in her grandparents' beloved home. Beloved inn. Are you all right, Azuka? You look like you're out of breath. Oh, yeah, so don't worry about it. I'm not really used to all this walking, and I'm especially not used to walking uphill. I guess I'm out of shape. If I was ever in shape at all. Ah, yes, you did mention. I don't suppose you need to walk in Tokyo if you always took the train. It sounds quite convenient, but I suppose issues will arise if you rely too much on public transportation. Ah, and don't I know it. I feel like I've just been hit by a truck, which then went to the effort of reversing over my crumpled, broken body. I didn't know I was such a weakling. It is a bit worrying that you're panting so heavily, yes. But not to worry. You'll have to manage this uphill walk every day, so I'm sure you'll get used to it eventually. I'm not too sure about that myself, not when that little climb has practically incapacitated me. It was a wonder I was able to haul Noreen up here last night, since I had severe difficulty simply dragging my own sorry carcass up that hill earlier. Maybe I got some super special strength buff which comes into play solely when I see sirens lying on the shore. I'm not sure, but I won't question it. I think Misuzu's being a bit too optimistic, but I still appreciate it. Thanks, Misuzu. You're really kind. Don't mention it. You're the truly kind one, inviting me back here. I feel like you've done me a big favour already. So... Did we fetch you something to drink? It might help. Oh, no, you're a guest. I couldn't ask you to do that. It wouldn't seem right. Might be a guest, yes. But I've been here numerous times in the past. I know the layout of this place well. Unless your aunt changed it a lot during the last few months. Oh, well, I wouldn't know about that. I've only been here for a week myself. Well, I suppose I can always find out. I know where the kitchen is, or where it used to be. And even if your aunt has moved things around, it would be a good opportunity to see that with my own eyes. If you wait here, I'll fetch you a drink, so just... give me a moment. That's probably what Misuzu means to say, but she doesn't get a chance to finish. That's because Aunt Shoko herself bears down upon us, her eyes narrowed. Asuka! I thought she'd be in the kitchen right about now preparing dinner, but maybe it's still too early for that. She's not wearing an apron, but she does look faintly frazzled. There you are! I've been waiting for you. I tried calling you, but you didn't pick up. You must have forgotten your phone, you silly girl. Oh, hello to you too, Aunt Shoko. Aren't you going to ask me about my first day of school? I was going to ask you about your first day of school, but something came up. Something? Yes, something. It's a very important something, too. We need to have a talk, young lady. A talk? That sounds pretty serious. I didn't do anything wrong, did I? How could I, though? When would I even find the time? I was in school all day. I don't think I've done anything to earn my aunt's ire, unless... No way. My aunt didn't find Noreen, did she? A close encounter with a fairy tale creature would explain why my aunt looked so shocked. That is what happened, then we do need to have a talk. But isn't my aunt forgetting something? Hey, I wouldn't mind talking to you, but I brought a friend over from school. Can't we postpone this a little later? Friend? Crush on misuzu ended. I'm all about Shoko now. That's so real. Look at her. My aunt blinks. Then she diverts her attention towards Misuzu, who's hanging behind me shyly. I guess my aunt was so caught up she failed to pay her any attention. Oh my, I see. Ahem. Hello, dear. My apologies for not greeting you earlier. I was a bit preoccupied. I'm Asuka's aunt. Kyonji Shoko. What is your name? Kyonji. We've got to check the other name. Kyonji meaning... Just means long-lasting, basically. I date all these girls once they're of age, of course. Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're all incredibly dateable. Oh, I'm Shurigami Misuzu. It's a pleasure to meet you. You too. Asuka says that you're a friend of hers? Yes, that's right. Or, I would like it to be right. It might be a bit impetuous of me to call myself Asuka's friend, given we have only known one another for a day. But I would very much like to get to know her better. That is why I asked whether I could go home with her. But it would appear that she has done something wrong? Yes, well, my aunt looks a bit taken aback by Mizuzu's polished manners. I doubt many teenage girls talk quite like she does in this day and age. Her polite style of speaking has also caught me by surprise when I first met her, but she's being even more formal with my aunt. She's talking kind of like some old-fashioned retainer. I think this goes beyond simply being a well-bred young lady. She must have read a lot of classical novels. That, or she's really into samurai movies. I have a story. Before I knew much about Japanese history, I was very confused by them using the phrase retainer, because all I know about that was in regards to dentistry. So I had a very confused moment when I first came across it, and I was like, why would a person be a retainer? That's for your teeth. So I had to look into that. It was very funny for me, personally. I thought it was silly and funny. But no. Being a retainer in Japanese history does not mean that you hold the teeth. It means other thing. It's another thing, actually. I have multiple retainers in FF14. None of them fit in my mouth. Not with that attitude. Just unhinge it like a snake. It's fine. It's fine. You can do it. Everyone can do that, right? I am very glad that my Asuka has already made a friend, and one as well behaved as you, Misuzu. It's very nice of you to walk her back home. But I'm afraid you've come here at a bad time. I have private matters I need to discuss with my niece, you see. Oh dear, that is unfortunate. I hate to be a nuisance. Under other circumstances, naturally, I would take heed of your wishes and depart. But I fear I cannot do that. What? Is something the matter? Yes, I'm afraid something is. This inn used to belong to my grandparents. I've been here many times as a child, and this place is full of sentimental memories for me. Chat, I might need a snack break. We may need to get snackies. So I'll be right back, and we have a snacky chatty break. We have snacky chatty. I will take the chance to refill my water at the same time. Entertain yourselves. The returning cry of the Priscilla. I have chips. I got myself a bag of chips. I have been updated on the household as well. I know all the household gossips. Flavor? Just really salted bluebird. I'm being it's easy because it doesn't upset me sometimes with my brain. Sometimes I just need basic shit or my brain gets sad and scared. Very frustrating. Household news. We have ants in the garage. Not very pleased about that. Wish they wouldn't do that. Wish they wouldn't. That would be nice if they didn't do that. Be cool, even. Cat is not helping with the ants. She is, in fact... They smell the chips? No, they don't. I refuse. Why would they be in the garage if they smell the chips? It's the wrong area. There's no food in there. They probably smell the cat's piss box. That's where her litter box lives. They get that way about cat toilets sometimes. Just gross and weird. She's not helping. She's in fact sitting on some of the ants because she doesn't think ants are real. Ants aren't like worthy of her purview. They're too small to be worthy of any interest. Oh, I needed chips. Yes, yes. Chip ASMR for my beautiful babies. I hope you guys like the sound of eating. Mmm. They're good crunch. They're good crunch. Okay, gotta get something now. He craves the crunch. And drama in the household. Dad was away in China for work reasons, and now he's returned. And he's not, like, being careful with contagion. He doesn't wear masks or anything, and it's just, and he hasn't been, like, wearing masks until he knows he's clear to keep us safe. So Mum's sick again, and she's really pissed off because she knows how she got it. She knows that he wasn't careful about making sure he was clear before going around maskless in the house. And so she's quite pissed off. And she'd just gotten over, was just recovering from another illness she just had. And now she's sick again, and she's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Dad is... We don't like Dad here. Dad is, very irresponsible with the people in his home in life. Does not think about how his actions affect others, sort of thing. So I'm quite unsurprised, but displeased, you know. Pro tip: if you've been to a foreign country and you live with people, and when you come back, you're going to expose those people to the germs that you live with, that you've been exposed to and have been like unaffected by, but you've still been exposed to germs that they are not able to deal with, and you know that people in your household get sick, and you just live with people in general. Mask for like a couple of weeks to make sure you don't pass off on any other illnesses that they have no ability to deal. Like it's just common courtesy, I think, when for travelers. To be fair, he never really masked. Not in the height of COVID, when we were all supposed to, and when the whole family was masking quite carefully. And he just never did it very much, so that's just so him. I've just had enough of his crap, man. I've just had enough of his crap, man. He don't pay attention to other people. He don't pay attention to how his actions affect others. It pisses me off, man. I feel more alive now. Let's get back to it, babes. This inn used to belong to my grandparents. I've been here many times as a child, and this place is full of sentimental memories for me. I've not been able to return, however, since my grandmother moved out almost 2 years ago. I wanted to come back here dearly for quite some time. So when Asuka said that she was living here now, I could not contain my curiosity. While I escorted Asuka home in part because I wished to be her friend, I cannot deny that my own earnest desire to see what has become of my grandparents' home played a part in my decision. Now that I'm finally here, I do not wish to go back, no matter what sort of mischief Asuka might have found herself embroiled in. If that does not sound too presumptuous of me. If you wish to scold Asuka for some misdemeanor or another, I can always wait on the veranda. I do not mind if you wish to have a private word. Only please, do not send me back home, when I have wanted to return here for so very long. My aunt frowns. She looks taken aback and new by misuzu's determination, and so am I. I knew this place was important to her, but I didn't know it meant that much to her. Misuzu's sincerity might have gotten through to my aunt, because after a moment of consideration, her expression softens. Very well. I can't send you away now, not when this place means so much to you. I wouldn't like to tell you how to behave whilst on property that your grandparents used to own. But this really is something I must discuss with Asuka. It pertains to the future running of this inn, and it is rather important. To the running of the inn? Misuzu frowns. My apologies, Miss Kionji, but if there is some issue regarding the inn, then I'd very much like to know what it is. I cannot overstate just how important the Sakuraso is to me. Very well. If you truly wish to know what the matter is, then I suppose I can show you. Show me? Yes, indeed. This affair is a delicate one. Simply talking about it won't be enough. It's so unbelievable, I'm starting to doubt what I saw myself. And I witnessed it with my own 2 eyes. It's beyond the boundaries of all common sense. But it definitely happened, and I know it did. And I need to come clean about this, Asuka. I imagine you know more about this than I do. She found the mermaid. I'm just waiting for it to be a bait and switch. This feels like it's a bait and switch. Ugh. I had a sneaking suspicion, but this just about clinches it. My aunt must be talking about Noreen. I can't imagine anything else would cause her to look so dumbfounded, unless she somehow managed to find my collection of BL manga I keep stashed underneath my bed. I don't think my taste in elegant, gentle, sensitive men from the Heian era would be enough to make my aunt question her own eyes, though. None of the BL stuff I own is that wild. It's all decidedly 15 rated, though some of it might be a little spicy, I guess. I don't think any of my tastes are inappropriate, though. I'm not a lewd girl, really, I'm not. Now follow me. There is something I need to discuss with you, and I'd rather not do it in the hallway. My aunt turns on her heels and walks away. She pads down the hallway in her slippers, the wooden floor creaking beneath her. I hang back for a few moments, feeling conflicted, before with a sigh, I set off after Aunt Shoko. I'm thinking maybe she found, the food in the bathtub, and she was like, this is so gross, you can't be eating in the bathtub, that's weird. I still have a few lingering doubts as to whether she really wants to talk about Noreen. But I know the layout of the inn, and I can tell where my aunt's going. She passes my bedroom. I guess my illicit manga is safe for now, and makes a beeline for the bathroom. My aunt pauses by the entrance to the public bath, while Misuzu frowns. Is there something wrong with the bathroom, Miss Kionji? I'm unsure if there's something wrong with it per se, but there is somebody here who shouldn't be. Oh! Yeah, no, it's definitely the mermaid. Somebody? Yes, indeed. As much as it pains me to admit this, it would appear my niece has taken in a vagabond. Just look for yourself. My aunt slides the door open and the 3 of us step inside. We enter the changing area first, then into the baths. The large room comes into view with the sunken tub and the tiled floor. The walls and the floor are slick with moisture, and inside the tub... Oh! There's Noreen. She was leaning against the lip of the tub, a volume of manga in hand, but she sets it aside when the door opens. She glances over to the door where I stand, alongside my aunt and Misuzu. Then she waves at me with a bright smile. Hello, Asuka, welcome home. I've been waiting for you. I've been looking forward to hearing about your day at school. I want to know all about it. But I have a lot I want to tell you, too. My day was also pretty interesting. Isn't that right, Miss Asuka's aunt? You were right, Juicebox. You clocked it. I didn't know they were going to expose her, that quickly. I thought they'd build up to it, but I guess it also was a fun point. Yes, indeed. My aunt replies with a small bow of her head, her lips pursed in a look of... Is that disapproval? My day was rather interesting too, all thanks to you. What? Really? I'm so glad. If I could brighten up your day just a little bit, then I'll consider that a win. But before that... Noreen looks away from my aunt, whose expression is blankly perturbed, then towards Misuzu. She offers Misuzu another wave and says in that same upbeat voice as before, Hello there! I've not seen you before. Are you another relative of Asuka's, or... No. You're wearing the same outfit she is, so... Does that mean you go to the same school she does? That's right. Aha! I knew it! I've never been to a school before, but Asuka told me little about it last night.
She said you all wear a uniform and you all study together in a big building. Is that how it works? Yes, I suppose that is an accurate descriptor of what a school is. I knew it. I'm not just a pretty face, I really was paying attention. If you and Asuka go to the same school, does that make you school friends? Well, we have not known one another for very long, but I would like to think we are friends, yes. Really? Oh, I'm so happy for you, Asuka. I'm glad that things have worked out so well for you. You really must be so close to this girl. I'm sorry, what did you say your name was again? I didn't get a chance yet. I'm Misuzu. Misuzu, then. That's a lovely name. It's a pleasure to meet you. Any friend of Asuka's is a friend of mine. Goodness, though, you really are pretty. You can even give the royal princess a run for her barnacles. Thank you, I think. I'm going to presume that's a compliment, but... Asuka, I apologize if this sounds rude, but... Who is this girl? Yes, indeed, that's what I want to know. Who is she? What? Do you really need to ask that? You should know who I am. I already introduced myself to you, Miss Asuka's aunt. My name's Noreen, and I come from the Great Undersea Kingdom. I know that's what you said, but I'm having a difficult time wrapping my head around this. I'd hoped you might be able to shed some light on this curious situation, Asuka. How in the world did you meet this girl, and how did she end up in your bathtub? Oh, well now these are all good questions. How am I going to answer them? My parents raised me to always tell the truth, but I don't think the truth would be much more believable than a lie in this case. How can I explain Noreen's existence when it's so blatantly inexplicable? Well, first I should try and gather some intel. Have you talked to Noreen already, Miss Aunt Shoko? A little. I wasn't afforded much of an opportunity to do this, however, when you came home from school. I've only been aware of her presence for 15 minutes, though I think you've known her for longer than that. Well, we have talked a little, yeah. Oh, I think you've talked more than a little. I interrogated, asked our visitor a few questions, and she said that you and her were friends. Apparently you're the one who extended her an invitation to stay beneath our roof and in our bathtub, no less. Is that really true? Well, crap, my aunt does not look happy about this. Wonder if there's any way I can get out of this without looking too guilty. I haven't known Noreen for all that long, but she seems nice. I wanted to help her out since I saw her on the beach. So I guess we're friends in a sense? It's not like I planned any of this, though. That sounds like you're friends to me. I thought you told me I was the first friend you made here. Are you telling me that you actually met Noreen before you met me? Well, it's a bit of a long story, but... Last night I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk along the beach to clear my head. Last night? Aunt Shoko frowns. When was this? It wasn't after dinner, was it? Yeah, I think you'd already gone to bed. I don't remember the exact time, but it was kind of late. That would explain why I didn't hear anything then. You shouldn't have been creeping off by yourself, though, not so late at night. This island is relatively safe and it has a low crime rate. But accidents can still happen. What would you have done if you'd slipped while walking down the cliff in the dark and hurt yourself? Knowing you, I imagine you forgot to take your phone with you last night, didn't you? Oh, did I have my phone with me last night? I can't remember. But since I keep losing my phone in weird places. My aunt even found it in the fridge a few days ago. She's probably right. I probably didn't have it with me, no. That's what I thought. Honestly. What were you thinking, Asuka? You could have gotten into an awful accident. When I think about how much danger you might have gotten yourself involved in, I feel faint. My aunt shudders, then shakes her head. I suppose I should consider myself lucky you didn't take a nasty spill. What would Kikiyoko have said then? You don't want to have to worry about what my mother would have said because that didn't happen. I'm just fine, as you can see. Maybe so, but you've still not answered my question. Who is this girl? Where did you meet her? I'd like to know that too. I've lived in Onoshima all my life and I've never met anybody like her before. I mean, she has a tail. Is that really so strange? Everybody has tails where I come from. It's totally normal. Maybe it is to you, but it most certainly is not for us. Is your tail even real? Well, it was the last time I checked. It's pretty powerful, too. I can use it to swim really long distances. I would offer to show you, but I'd rather not get to the ocean again if I can help it. I'd be better if I kept my distance from the beach for now. Is that where you met this girl then, Asuka? The beach? That's right. She was washed up on the shore. I thought about carrying her back into the ocean, but she told me not to. She said she couldn't go back to the sea, though she didn't tell me why. She was a little vague about it, but I couldn't leave her there. I didn't know what else to do, so... So you thought a bathtub would be your best option? Well, yeah, it is pretty big. You could fit 10 people in here. If there's any better place for a mermaid, I'd like to hear it. Well, I never. I'm still not entirely sure if I believe this girl's a mermaid, no matter how convincing her tale might be. If this wasn't so very elaborate, I'd sooner believe this is a practical joke. I thought that too, but I'm pretty sure Narine's the real deal. I felt her tail and it's scaly. So that was enough to win you over, was it? Goodness me, I'm not sure what to think. I had no idea that mermaids exist. But if this young woman truly is a mermaid, I would think that the ocean would be a better place for her than than our bathtub. It would be much less restrictive, for one thing. Oh no, please don't take me back there. I couldn't stand it. Is that so? Narine nods vigorously, scattering a few droplets of water in her wake. It's what Asuka says. I really can't go back to the ocean. You might think it'd be less restricted than this bathtub, but I had no freedom down there. That's why I had to escape. I'd far rather spend the rest of my days in this tub than I would in the ocean. This is much, much better. Well, I never. This has been an awful lot to swallow and it is getting rather complicated. I really must wonder at your circumstances if this truly seems like a preferable fate. My circumstances were... grim. I'd rather not go into them now if you don't mind too much. I see. I have more than a few questions I'd like to ask you. But if you won't or can't answer them, then I suppose I shouldn't pry. Would you really be all right living in our bathtub, though? Oh, yes, it would be a great privilege. I've always been interested in the human world. I'd love to have a chance to experience what it's like above the water. And I promise I won't be a burden. I'll keep out of your way, I promise. You might not have much of a choice there if you're stuck in that bathtub. I don't know much about the anatomy of mermaids, but I presume your tail would prevent you from roaming the house at will. Oh, you might think that, but I'm not completely helpless on the land. There's a lot more I can do than meets the eye. I'll bet I could even help you with your chores in exchange for bed and board. Could you now? My aunt looks at Narine dubiously. I suppose it would be helpful having an assistant to keep this place tidy. I'm so busy overseeing the reservations, I don't have time for the household chores. I fear I've been rather letting the dishes pile up in the sink, and the hallway could use a good dusting. This is a fun idea and all, but does she know anything about cleaning? At all? Like, cleaning under the ocean would be very different to cleaning up on the land. I don't think she's thought this through. But would you really be able to manage all that? Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Jackie. Another hydrate? Wow. I wasn't being horny. Why? What? She's just taking care of me. It's fine. Yeah, it seems sus. I mean, she still won't explain what was so bad about Under the Ocean, and that's kind of weird too. Like, there's something going on here. There's something going on here. Oh, yes, I'm sure I could. Could she? Noreen sounds pretty confident, but I have more than a few doubts. She doesn't mean to drag herself through the hallway by her forearms, does she? That sounds like something from a horror movie. I'm all set to veto this idea, no matter how much Noreen wants to help, when... Just take a look at this! Noreen's tail begins to glow. It looks like a whole host of fireflies have settled down on her scales. It's a pretty sight. What in the... Well, I never. But it's also undeniably peculiar. I thought her having a tail would be the most perplexing part about Noreen, but... What do you think? This form is pretty handy, wouldn't you say? Her not having a tail is even stranger. This lends credence to my idea that Marina is a mermaid who moved to land. They can just do that. They don't need to seal a deal or anything. They can just do that. Her tail has since stopped shining. It couldn't shine even if it wanted to, owing to one crucial fact. Namely, that she doesn't have a tail at all anymore. She has legs now. Just like an ordinary person, 2 slender legs which end in 2 bare feet with 5 toes on each one. Can magically have a lower half? They could just do that, apparently. Although maybe it takes a lot of energy and she really needed to rest before she could change. Like, maybe it takes a lot of energy to do the transformation. So she had to rest a lot. And that's why she didn't do it when she got out of the beach. When she was on the beach, because she was so tired. Her legs are obscured by the water, but they look normal enough despite the distortion. They're a pale peach colour, just like the rest of her skin, and they look supple. As slender as a ballet dancer's. They're a pretty nice pair of legs as far as legs go. Not that I spend a lot of time marvelling at other women's legs, of course. No, of course not. No, not at all. No. It's not like I mean to stare. How the hell did you do that? But in this case, I can't help it. I'm not the only one. Aunt Shoko and Misuzu are staring too. Oh? Noreen looks between us, her expression bemused. Didn't you know I could transform like this? Of course I didn't! If I'd known, I wouldn't have given you a piggyback ride all the way up the hill last night. I would have asked you to use your own frickin' legs and walk. In fact, that's a good point. Why didn't you use your own legs to walk? Why, you ask? Noreen smiles bashfully. At least I think she smiles bashfully. It's kind of hard to get a read on her expression, but I think she should be bashful. Then says, mermaids can walk on dry land just like humans, but it requires quite a lot of energy. I knew it. I'm a genius. I'm a genius, chat. I'm a genius. Yes. I was pretty tired yesterday since I swam so far to get to the shore, so I didn't have enough strength to transform. It's not something I can really do for a long time. I figured I wouldn't be much help to you, though, if I was stuck in a bathtub all day eating your food and doing very little to help. That doesn't sound like a fair trade to me. I want to try and pull my weight, if you don't mind having me here. So please. Noreen presses her hands against her thighs, then dips her head in a deep bow. I didn't know this was a common practice in King Triton's underwater kingdom. I thought bowing was a quintessentially Japanese thing. Unless Noreen's copying my earlier interaction with my aunt. Would you let me stay here just a bit longer? There's nowhere else I can go. If you sent me back to the sea now, it'd be like signing my death warrant. Her death warrant? That's kind of extreme. Noreen was very firm about not being sent back to the ocean when I found her last night, washed up on shore. But she didn't give any concrete details. She must be running away from something, but what? Was she involved in some sort of underwater gang? I'm imagining her in those classic like Japanese girl gang fits in a sukabun. She would rock it, absolutely. With her hair pulled back in a high ponytail and a face mask and with a bat, absolutely. It could work. Is she a member of the Mermaid Yakuza? The Miso Yakuza. It keeps coming back to the Yakuza. This girl has an obsession with the Yakuza. Maybe a lot of her yaoi is like based around the Yakuza. Maybe she's on a yaoi Yakuza binge right now. If she gets caught, will her tail be chopped into pieces? Will she be turned into mermaid sashimi? I don't know the details, and it doesn't look like Noreen wants to share them. She doesn't look like a dangerous person, though. I'd like to believe that Noreen's acting in good faith, and it looks like my Aunt Shoko shares my opinion. She might be in a bad mood, but I think it's mostly because I've been keeping the truth about Noreen from her. In actuality, she's a total softie. Oh yeah, she's just mad that you were like keeping this big secret and she didn't have, and it just got dropped on her lap like it was nothing. Like she had no like warning or anything, and then there was just something happening in her house and she had no awareness of it. That would make people a bit upset. That's totally fair. I don't think she'll be able to resist Noreen's pleas for too long, and sure enough. Well, this is rather out of the blue. I do wish you'd told me about this yesterday, Asuka, when you first ran into this. Noreen, did you say your name was? That's right! Noreen, then. That's quite the pretty name. Thank you. My parents have good taste, Or I thought they did, at least until everything happened. My aunt presses her lips together, then says, I can't claim to understand your circumstances, but I do sympathise with them. You must have been quite the predicament if you felt compelled to leave your home like that. I have suspicions that Noreen is not actually from mermaid poverty, and she is actually mermaid royalty. And she was set up into a political marriage, and she ran away from it because the guy was so ugly, or something, or she wanted true love. And she didn't want to do the political thing. Because, quite frankly, she does not give the impression of a woman who works incredibly hard in the fields. You know? She has very soft skin for someone who is from the poverty areas of being a mermaid. You know? There's no calluses on this woman, from what I can tell. She's a bit too put together. Just my onion. The underwater farming fields, the underwater mines and factories. Yes, yes. The children mermaids crave the mines. They yearn for the mines. The small baby mer people yearn for the mines. They crave it. You must have been in quite the predicament if you felt compelled to leave your home like that. They yearn for the trench. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly where the mines would be. I remember that I too had arguments with my parents when I was your age. I tried to run away from home a few times myself. Shoko's cool as fuck. Hello. I love it. I love kids who are rebellious like that. Like, that's so cool. You rebelled? Love that. It's actually so important for a child's development that they had some sort of rebellion. Even if it's not like classic rebellion, you need to rebel against what you think your parent is into. It's a part of, like, in my onion, of course. It's part of formulating your own identity separate from them. So you aren't just an extension of them your whole life, you know? Did she? I had no idea my aunt was such a rebel. Oh, yeah, no, totally. I could clock that. If I was paying attention for that kind of thing, that makes total sense. She's kind of like out there with it. Like she bought an old inn to fix it up. That's pretty out there. So maybe it would be remiss of me to scold you for that. I don't know why you came here after all. You're still a stranger, really. There are all sorts of problems with me letting you stay here. It's no decision I can make lightly. Aunt Shoko was at the Rage Against the Machine concerts. She was. She was at the Rage Against the Machine concerts. She was in the mosh pit. She was she made out with random women at every concert. It was awesome. So I got a call tonight. Yeah, good night, Harriet. start. My head cannon can't handle the mess. Listen, it's a Yuri game. My head cannon can't handle the hotness. It tells it like I sees it. I tells it like I sees it, and often how I sees it is very hot and awesome. I have amazing visions of how the world is. I have visions of beautiful things. You know how it is. I must share them with the people. They must know. They must know of these beautiful things. It would be a crime for me to not share them with people. Yeah, I thought my aunt might say that. She's not wrong either. Letting a whole other person stay the night is a big commitment, especially when they're such a strange stranger. There's nothing normal at all about Noreen's tale, but my aunt's doing a pretty good job at taking this in her stride. I think I would be pretty good at coping with a mermaid. Oh shit, hi Suba, what's up? You know, chat, if you've been a mermaid passed out on the beach, how do you think you would cope? I think I'd cope pretty good. I'd probably like poke her, like sort of like shake her shoulder and be like, hey, you good? You know, I think I'd cope pretty well. I'd ask her what she needed, you know, do you want some water? Do you want like a snack? What's up, babe? You push her back in the water. I'd ask her if she wanted that. You never know. She might be trying to get like out of the water. She might be trying to escape something. I don't know. Like I'd ask her what's up if she needed anything. That's a cool instinct though. If she could have dried out, you don't know. At least push her back into the surf so she can keep soaked and warm, and nice and moist, and not get nice horrible dry scales. Yeah. Is my aunt actually kind of a badass? She's always been a badass, but I understand teenagers never recognize that until the adults actually like do something cool. They're just weird. They're just mature, responsible adults and stuff. Until they do something out there and wild. She did say she tried to run away from home, and I think she was in a couple of bands when she was younger too. Oh hell yeah! The Rage Against the Machine concert's headcanon wasn't that far off. Oh my god. I've seen a few old photos of her dressed in leather. Shit. Shit, that's awesome. That's so awesome. But we have plenty of space here, as you can see. There are more than enough spare rooms for you should you require one. Though I imagine you would rather sleep in the bathtub. That'd probably be for the best. I've never gone to sleep with legs before, and I don't think I'd be able to keep them for a whole night. Gosh, Shoko? She was either goth or she was like a total metalhead. Like a total rocker type. Thank you for the hydrate, Suba. I mean, goth or like total metalhead rocker. Either way, what bliss, you know? Either way, nothing bad can go wrong with this combination for. Either way, absolutely, it would absolutely, like, Shoko would absolutely rock it, you know? Like, pun intended. Pun absolutely intended. Yeah. No, Shoko would rock both sorts of looks. I'm sure I'd turn back into my mermaid form and then my poor tail would dry out. Yes, it does sound like it'd be rather distressing. I'd rather not have any guests at this inn dry out, as you said, overnight. So, if you promise to behave yourself, I suppose you can stay here for the time being at least. Oh! Noreen gasps. She stares at my aunt, wide-eyed, her fingers clasped to her front, as if she can hardly believe what she's just heard. A moment passes. 2. Then, with a bright smile, Noreen dives forwards. She pulls my aunt into a hug, which must be pretty damp, and says, "Thank you, Miss Oscar's aunt. Thank you so much. You really are a wonderful woman." It's quite all right. I'm not so very unreasonable that I'd throw a young girl like you out on the streets, especially when your circumstances are so complicated. Now Shoko's wet. Oh no, Juicebox. They're doing all kinds of things to Shoko that are just a real problem for you. Oh no. As an adult, it ought to be my job to look after you. Oh no. They're doing all sorts of things to your girl Shoko that are really making a real trial for you. And speaking of which, there's something we need to take care of if you are to stay here for an extended period of time. Take care of? Noreen draws away from my aunt, leaving a damp patch on the front of her shirt, and looks at her curiously. What do you mean? Well, I do not wish to be indelicate, but... Ahem. I think you need to wear some clothes, young lady. You'll catch a cold otherwise. What? Noreen looks down at her bare legs. She blinks. They're not looking even a little embarrassed, she says. Oh, yes, you're right. Silly me. Why would she be embarrassed? Clothes aren't real. A little while later. Oh, look at her here! Oh my god, that's so cute! Oh, look at the twin we bring. Oh, she's adorable. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, it suits her so well too. Oh my god. Alright, everybody. Dinner is served. I hope you're hungry because I made a whole lot of it. Please feel free to ask for seconds. There's plenty to go around. This is going to be one of those, the food she made is absolutely disgusting things. I don't know. It could go either way. Noreen smiles blithely as she sits opposite me at the dinner table. After the whole debacle between her, myself, and Aunt Shoko, Noreen has been determined to prove her worth. She was the one who suggested that she cook dinner tonight to repay you for the yummy meal I had this morning, to use Noreen's own words, and to prove that I'm more than just a freeloader. Or does she somehow have intricate knowledge of how to operate a mammalian kitchen? Yes, that's the question, isn't it? Noreen sounded very in earnest about the whole thing, so much so not even Aunt Shoko could refuse her. Aunt Shoko gave Noreen full reign of the kitchen after she'd had her change into some of my old clothes, that is. Noreen spent the last half hour in the kitchen by herself, staunchly refusing any help from myself, Aunt Shoko, and a rather bemused-looking misuzu. I tried to watch the television in the living room, all while trying determinedly to ignore the worrying sounds coming from the kitchen, the whoosh of the gas stove, and the clattering of pots and pans. I had a few doubts about Noreen's culinary skills. I mean, she said herself she mostly eats kelp. But I didn't want to be too pessimistic. She sounded so confident when she said she wanted to cook for us. I tried to have faith in her. Noreen's finally finished goodness knows what's in the kitchen, however, and the end results of her labour are... well... Now what are you waiting for, everybody? Don't you want to dig in? I've never actually cooked before, not in a human kitchen at least, but I put a lot of heart into it. I tried copying some of the dishes I was served for breakfast this morning, and I hope I've done a good job. I really did try my best. They're not exactly encouraging. Oh shit, hey Zach, congrats on the 7-stream streak, let's go. 7 of them, 7. No longer 6, it is now 7. Noreen didn't set the kitchen on fire, which was a small plus, but I'm not entirely sure how she managed to burn the rice this badly. Or, well, I think this dark, gritty-looking stuff is rice. It's hard to tell since it's completely blackened. It looks a little like something a volcano would spit out. A particularly mean, angry volcano that's been ready to blow for over a century. It isn't just that this rice looks weird either, it smells weird too. It stinks of charcoal and like something burning. Noreen also gave Aunt Shoko's miso soup a stab. But is this really miso soup? It's a strange dark brown colour and looks like there's a fine crust floating around on top of it. Like pond scum. As for the fried fish, however, well, just forget about it. Like the rice, this stuff has been blackened beyond belief. There's no way this is edible now. Hell, I'm not even sure if this is fish. And what's the strange lumpy paste on top of it? Don't tell me. I poke the fish with my chopsticks with no small amount of trepidation, then mumble, hey, Noreen? Yes? What is it, Asuka? I was just wondering, the stuff on this fish? Where did you get it? I would also like to know that. It's, rather pungent. Oh, that? I'm not really sure what it is. I just saw it in the big box of Chums, and I thought I'd like to use it. You have so many different things in that big box, it was hard to stop myself from trying all of it out. I was spoiled for choice. We don't have this many fun ingredients under the sea or many ways of stirring them, so it was really neat seeing everything in your kitchen. It's no wonder the food this morning tasted so good. You have so much to work with. The human world is incredible. You say that. I poke at the fish with my chopsticks hesitantly. A few bits of it break off, staining my chopsticks black, and I swallow. Surely this can't be safe for human consumption. But I think your food is really the amazing thing here, Noreen. I don't mean there's a compliment either. I think I'm being kind of catty, actually. But Noreen must be immune to sarcasm. She simply smiles, her face radiant, as she says, Really? It's so nice of you to say, Asaka. I wanted to make a meal that you'd never forget, so I hope I was able to make something memorable. Yeah, this is pretty memorable, all right. Indeed, I've never seen food quite like this before. The colour is rather curious, and so is the consistency. But perhaps it tastes better than it looks? I don't know if I count on that. I drop my voice to a whisper. I don't want to offend Noreen, not when she looks so happy, and mumble, It's all right if you don't want it, misuzu. You can always turn it down. What? But wouldn't that be unfair to Noreen? She did work hard on this. Well, maybe we should try a bit. Well, all right. You raise a good point.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't.
You're gonna get fucking food poisoning. You're gonna get the shits. And you're gonna get both ends. It's gonna be bad. I don't want to turn my nose up at Noreen's hard work. It does seem a bit mean. I think we should be more appreciative, yes. I very much doubt that Noreen will have served us anything dangerous.
How do you know that? How do you know that? She's a stranger to you. She's a stranger to all of you. She made the poison with love. She did. She did. The poison is full of love. And poison.
And I do not want to let food go to waste. I concur. I'll try a bite, although I have a few doubts. Aunt Shoko sniffs, then pokes at her own food hesitantly, in a rather Aunt Shoko-like way. Is it just me, or does it smell fermented? Fermented? Oh yes, I thought that too, the fish in particular. It's a very curious scent, though it's somewhat familiar. I think I know what this might be. You do? If Misuzu can identify this charred lump of maybe fish, then she's a better detective than I am. Narina's just standing there smiling, waiting desperately for them to eat. She's so excited. Our poor baby girl. I imagine she's just standing there next to them at the table, and she's just like, Yay! 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 I love new things! I love that I cooked for them! This is so fun! I have no idea what Noreen's whipped up for us. I'm not sure if I want to know either. They do say that ignorance is bliss. I think I'd be much, much happier if they gave this food a wide berth, but if Misuzu and Aunt Shoko are going to try it, then... all right. I'll make a start on it. Thanks for the food, Noreen? It's no problem. Using your kitchen was rather fun. And anyway, I should be the one thanking you. You helped me a lot, Asuka. I'm in your debt. Yeah, it's all right. You've done more than enough to repay that debt. I have? Already? Yeah, I don't want to try and think of any new ways to quote-unquote repay me. Not if she means to do so by making meals like this. My life isn't exactly amazing, but I'm still attached to it. I don't really want to meet my maker so soon. I mean, I'm only 16. I still have a lot left to live for. My sense of self-preservation is telling me to keep far away from this food if I know it's good for me. But you've done a lot. I couldn't possibly ask for more. I don't want to be greedy, so I'll just eat this and we'll consider your debt settled. Now let me dig in. I can't wait to try it. Hastily, I take a piece of charred, whatever it is, between my chopsticks. Then I part my lips and place the mysterious substance onto my tongue. A moment passes following my act of bravery. A moment when nobody speaks. Silence descends in the dining room, even thicker, deeper and thicker than the snow you get at the top of Mount Fuji in the winter. For a moment, I don't taste much of anything. Noreen's cooking might look diabolical, but it's actually surprisingly bland. Maybe eating it won't be such an ordeal after all. That's what I tried to tell myself, naively as it turns out, when... A sudden rush of flavour comes to meet me, making my taste buds tingle. But no, tingle isn't the right word. Tingling implies a degree of pleasure, but there's nothing pleasurable at all about this. My senses are being blasted. It's like I've just taken a bite into a fusty old sock. Or a mouldy piece of pie crust. It's so nasty I can feel tears beating in my eyes. The food was so awful I guess it overwhelmed my delicate maidenly body. In the couple of seconds after putting this food into my mouth, my nervous system must have shut down in an attempt to spare me. That, or my taste buds went through necrosis in under a second. I think I'd even have an easier time trying to chow down on my grandpa's ashes than this. That'd probably be more flavourful, too. The food Noreen has served me, if you can even call it that, is rubbery and gritty. Too tough, while at the same time having a weirdly squishy centre. The outside is all burned, but the inside doesn't taste cooked at all. It's a combination of tastes and textures unpalatable enough to be called ungodly, and to make matters even worse... What the... Oh, my... Noreen? You didn't cover the fish with natto, did you? I don't really know what I covered it with. I was just taking things from the big box when they caught my eye. But I did see a container full of stringy stuff that looked like fun. It had an interesting texture, so I slathered it all over the fish, then put it in the oven. Does it taste as good as I'd hoped? It smells really strong, so I figure the flavour must be very rich and deep. Ee-hee. Rich and deep is right, but I think this might be a little too rich. Ugh. I press a hand against my stomach. It's starting to grumble. Like a washing machine on spin cycle, and my innards feel all twisted up. I'm afraid that piece of fish is going to come right back up out my mouth. It's like my body is actively rejecting it. It's doing such a number on me, it might very well be a foreign pathogen, and it kind of feels like it is. I don't want to hurt Noreen's feelings, but I don't even like natto at the best of times. I especially don't like it when it's smeared all over charred fish, though. Oh! Noreen exhales, her shoulders slumping. Sadly, she looks at me, then says, Isn't it any good, then? Don't you like it? Well, I like that you made an effort. But one mouthful was pretty memorable on its own already. I don't think I can handle any more of this. Your gratitude is simply too powerful. And with that, I think we are done for the day. Ah! I hit the wrong button! Ah! We're gonna have to skip through everything we already did. I can do this. I can do this. None for the day load. It wasn't the plan. I was going to save. Okay. There we go. We did it. Amazing work all around on my part. Okay. I will not be back tomorrow. I'll be back the day after tomorrow.
and we'll be playing Slay the Princess. We're going to go do some achievement hunting. And then after Slay the Princess, the next day, the day after the Slay the Princess stream, we'll be doing more Mermaid Yuri. Those are the streams for the week. Let's see who's around to wait. Let's see who we can attack. Oh, there's an Azel. There's an Azel. Let's attack an Azel. He's playing Mouse PI for hire. I don't know this game. It's black and white and it looks kind of old-timey. And that could be fun. Go have fun with him. Go have fun with him. Do it. Do it now.